EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show here on the JAKIB Sports Network. It's Week 10 in the NFL, and the Philadelphia Eagles have taken a win. It's a 10-7 win over the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. I'm joined now by Big Sills. We'll have John McMullen on. There's plenty to talk about, but a win is a win. I understand. Big Sills, coming right to you. What did you make of it? That was a weird game, Big Sills, wasn't it?
Well, Jeff Hafley and Vic Fangio had great nights.
Yes,
the coordinators were brutal. The offenses were brutal. They made one or two more plays than what the Green Bay Packers did in this ball game. But don't talk to me about your offense being back. That was absolutely pathetic. Let's be candid here. The defense is getting better, and they are clearly getting better. By the way, the immediate impact of Jalen Phillips in that game was felt for 4 quarters. He had a spectacular football game for a first guy being there with this football team. I mean, I thought he really had a great impact. But let's be candid here. I mean, the offense, quite frankly, I mean, you had a great game against the New York Giants. That was the worst offensive output. I mean, how many targets did AJ have in the game? 3?
Oh, I think he had 2, and then he had that meatball on 4th down, which was a stupid play call by Nick Sirianni.
Absolutely awful offense on display tonight. But by the way, no disrespect to the Eagles on this, but Jordan Love was worse.
He was. He was terrible too. Well, I tell you what, though, Nick Sirianni gets bailed out. If Jordan Love goes 1 yard deeper on that pass at the end and they can get a kickoff,
I was like, wow, man.
Why do you go for it? I don't understand. That's just stupid play calling to me. But look, the Eagles got a win. It was a great defensive game, as Big Sills pointed out, but there's plenty of stuff to talk about. All right. There's plenty of problems on this football team. I'm sure we'll have some social media posts from A.J. Brown this week. I don't know if I can blame them. And we'll see a little bit of everything this week. Sills, I'll run through some numbers with you. Jalen had 183 yards through the air on 15 of 26, 1 touchdown pass. Saquon Barkley, 22 carries for 60 yards. So kind of back to that earlier season form. Jalen had 5 carries for 27 yards in the game. Smitty, obviously, 4 receptions, 69 yards. He had that big touchdown catch in the game. Probably the biggest offensive play of the game. There, Goddard had 4 catches for 43. Saquon 3 for 41. I said he'd have a
big game, by the way. I thought this would be a Goddard game. I thought he moved the sticks on 3rd down.
He had a couple. He had 4 catches, so he didn't have a huge game, but he had 4 catches. There were some first downs in there for sure.
Before you continue, 2 catches, 13 yards for A.J. Brown. Wow.
Will Shipley had 2 catches for 17 yards. I'm telling you right now. Look, we won the game. I understand, but I'm not going to sit here and act like the first 3 quarters didn't happen. All right? They happened. This offense is not good, man. The defense is the star of this football team again, Big Sills.
By the way, Green Bay is legitimate.
They're a legitimate defense. I think what me and you have talked about on our show for weeks, Jordan Love, I am not buying it. He stinks, dude. He is so overrated.
You won by 3 points. It's not like you guys beat him by 20.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, quite frankly, it was the battle of who was worse or who wouldn't be as worse. That was terrible. I mean, hey, Jeff Hafley and Vic Fangio had spectacular. I enjoyed the game. You know why?
I know you're a defensive guy. You know, you're a defensive guy. So I figured you would like it. We got Johnny Mac. Let's get Johnny Mac in here and see what J Mac's got to say here on this game. Johnny Mac, welcome into the JAKIB Postgame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles win 10-7. It was 0-0 at halftime last time we spoke, J Mac. Just kind of your first thoughts, John, on the game today. 10-7, the Eagles get the win, my friend.
Yeah, ugly game. Obviously, I agree with Sills. Unless you're a defensive player, then it was a tremendous performance, I think, certainly from the Eagles side. Jalen Phillips paying dividends right away. Tremendous game. And that was kind of I don't know what they were trying to accomplish on that 4th down play, but Eagles blew it up. And And it would have been a penalty even if they didn't blow it up. But really impressed by the Eagles' defensive performance, and the offense did enough. I mentioned at halftime with you, Zander, Jalen Hurts, watch, he'll make a play or two. Even though both quarterbacks weren't playing well, he's got that ability to sort of leave the bad stuff behind, flush it, and make a play or two. I thought that, sort of the new dagger to DeVonta Smith. He's having a great year. They also had that great out pattern to pick up a big first down. Nick Sirianni, though, what are you doing, dude? I'm all for aggression. I'm all for aggression usually. But if you think about that situation, 33 seconds left.
It makes sense, John.
4th and 6 at the Green Bay thing. Just send Braden Mann out there to, pooch it 10 yards, whatever. You have no time on the clock. They lost all their receivers by that point. There's no way they're going down the field. Like I said, typically I love aggressive coaches, but that made no sense. No sense.
It did make no sense. Guys, I want to talk a little bit about the offense. We will talk about the defense. Obviously, there was plenty of good there. Jalen Phillips, both of you mentioned it in your opening remarks, how big of an impact he was immediately. But John, I said it to Sills at the open. I can't just unsee those first 3 quarters because we won the game. I understand we won the game. Winning cures all in this world. But that offense has a lot of problems to fix, man. Big Sills, what did you see from Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense today in the win over the Green Bay Packers?
There was just no consistency once again, and they were not able to get the running game going on a consistent basis. I thought that the Green Bay Packers front seven, I thought they won the day. And I also happen to think on the other side too. I think the Eagles front seven won the day. This was a defensive battle in this ball game. And offensively, once again, they were not able to get any kind of consistency going in the passing game. They threatened the middle a little bit. I thought Goddard's catches, even though they were minimal, I thought that they were really big catches on moving the sticks on 3rd down. But there's just no continuity in that offense right now. That's a good football team. By the way, I will concede and say that defense is legitimate. Hey, I tell you what, I learned more about the Green Bay Packers than I did about the Philadelphia Eagles. I know the Eagles have a shitty offense. I didn't realize that the Green Bay Packers have that good a defensive football team because, hey, Jeff Hadley had a great game. You hold the Philadelphia Eagles to 10 points, and you pretty much shut them out the entire football game. You're going to go a long way in the playoffs if you play like that. But, we said it. Jordan Love was terrible. I mean, if Hurts was not very good, which he wasn't, but to John's point, he'll make 3 plays in a game to cover the shitty play up. And Jordan Love was just brutal in that game. I mean, he just was terrible in that game. How many missed throws? And I will say this, they're wide receivers. They dropped a ton of passes in that football game as well. But, man, Jordan Love just could not find the open receivers. I think that, John, what I think Vic did in this game, those post-coverage, snap post coverages that he had, I thought it confused him in this ball game because he just couldn't find the open guy in the secondary.
Well, I don't know how many open guys. I mean, you got to wait for the all 22. But I mean, when they lost Dobbs for a while, I mean, it got to a point where Bo Melton, who they moved from receiver to cornerback, they had to play him at receiver again. He had that big 4th down drop. They were really up against it by the end of the game. Again, health plays at Lane Johnson, a little bit of a scare, able to come back. How tough is that guy? And the same thing, ankle injury for Jenkins. He's ruled out. So many receivers down coming into the game. Then you lose Dobbs on top of it for a long portion of the game. I mean, they were really up against it. But I'm a big believer, and I constantly talk about personalities of games. And this game, the personality was defense. And both defenses played very, very well. I thought the Eagles played better. Guys all over the place. I start with Phillips because he was new, but Nakobe Dean was really impressive in this game.
He
Zach Bond, his usual steady self. Jalen Hunt even showing up with that lesser role. I thought Adoree Jackson played well. I didn't even think he'd play in the game. Jalen Carr with those 2 pass breakups at the line of scrimmage. Nolan Smith showing up late with that little stunt and getting loose to break up what would have been a completion down the field because Love didn't have time to throw the football. I just thought the Eagles' defense was great. I can't say enough about Vic Fangio, considering how much they lost in the offseason. And here we are in week 10, and they look lights out. Yeah, they needed that final piece. They needed that pass rusher. And Phillips can play.
Yeah,
and he changes this whole defense. I really believe that. And they're going to be good down the stretch.
Yeah, they are. Still, as you mentioned, you thought he was going to help Jalen Hunt. That was evident tonight, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And he also helped Nolan Smith. And
yes,
to John's point, I'll tell you something, man. Boy, I mean, they're coming on, man. That's their best performance of the year against a good football team.
All right, can both of you walk me off? Like, am I overreacting, or am I too
No, the
strong?
offense is shitty.
That this offense sucks. I mean, I know we won the game, but that doesn't look like an offense to me that's going to take this team back to the promised land or anywhere close to it. I mean, they struggle with everything except these shot play deep throws that they convert once in a while. Sills, as you pointed out, that makes up for all the negative. I mean, this offense to me looks so constipated, and Jalen was certainly off tonight. Didn't have his best game throwing the football, but I don't know. Am I too hard on the offense at this point? It's tough for me to get all worked up or happy about the win. It's a good win, but I'm not going to sit here and act like it was all perfect.
Well, here, put this in perspective, though, Zander. You're talking about the wins that you have compiled, and again, I'm adding some AFC teams into the mix here. You've beaten Kansas City, you've beaten the Rams, you've beaten Tampa Bay, and you have beaten Green Bay now. And then you got Detroit on a Sunday night on a short work week. Dude, it may not look right, but you are piling the right teams up here. I mean, you're making a statement that, listen, I agree. Here's what's happened here. I think everybody is looking at the barometer of the 2024 football team and how dynamic they were on blowing teams away. This team's not blowing anybody away, but you know what's winning is their will to be able to win games like that. I'm with John. I never thought at any moment in that football game that Jordan Love was going to go 90 freaking yards down the field to score a touchdown. I didn't even think he put him in a position to score a field goal. But I'll say this, Andrew, you do that stuff to Matthew Stafford, that game's over. Now, to do it in against Jordan Love, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. I think that's a good win, man. I mean, you're on the road, Lambeau Field. That's one of the teams you may run into in the playoffs. Hey, man, so it wasn't the sexiest chick on the bar last night, okay? But at the end of the day, man, you know what? You're sitting down drinking drinks here, and you're taking home a winner. How you doing?
John, what do you say about the offense? Is it any concern for you, or are you just more looking at it a win as a win and you move on to next week?
Yeah, I mean, knock them down and move on. This is not a surprise to me. They're going to have these games offensively, and to be able to still be able to win them, I think speaks volumes about the complementary aspect. But yeah, this particular game, as I said, had a personality, and the personality is what it is. I mean, the assumption is, okay, a couple weeks ago, Jalen Hurts has a perfect passer rating in Minnesota. What they score against the Giants, 38 points, whatever it was. That's not going to continue from week to week to week. It's just not. We've seen this team for a long time have success. They're going to have these ups. They're going to have these downs. They're not going to be consistent on offense. That's just part of how they're built, and part of not having that consistent throwing aspect to the offense. And if teams show up and do a good job on the run game, and I think, you look at the box score, and there were some decent runs by Saquon Barkley, but at the end of the day, he's under 3 yards a carry again. So, when that happens, you're going to struggle offensively, and you're not going to be able to build that passing game off the running game, but they still got the big dagger play to DeVonta Smith, which pretty much won the game. And they're able to have those 2 or 3 or 4 big plays in the fourth quarter to go win this style of ugly game. And there's something to say about that. I can't look at this game and say, well, I want them to score 40 points. That's the best defensive performance of the year.
40 points?
Dominant.
What do you mean 40 points? They have 0 points through 3 quarters. They put up 10 points in the game. Don't go to the extreme.
I'm talking about Green Bay. You're not giving Green Bay the credit also on being a good unit.
I'm talking about the unrealistic expectations on this offense, which there's no evidence for it. How long have I been saying that?
With that quarterback, you're out of your minds. If people are thinking that they're going to put 40 points up with that offensive style of play, you're not, dude. That's not, you're going to win.
Where did 40 come from? Like, I never said 40.
35.
A little bit more than what we were able to do tonight.
Well, you're getting, whatever number you want to use. Yeah. They're not a high volume offense.
Yeah. How about 13?
Whatever number. 17? I mean, these expectations. Crazy. These expectations on this offense are ludicrous. And when they have a couple big games, then they come right back.
No doubt they have the
and they had a couple.
They have the fool's gold games against like the Giants. An Eagle glazed donut fan goes like this: "Oh, we're back," and you're like,
"You sound like a glazed donut tonight, my friend. You're the glazed donut tonight. You're the Krispy Kreme."
I'm talking about the defense. I think your offense blows. I think your defense is great tonight.
But that's what I guess I don't understand from a fan perspective. Like I'm hanging on to this defensive performance. Like, oh man, that was something. And I get it, but
how about this, John? The coaching on the defensive side is definitely being seen here. The talent evaluation on the other side, bro. I asked you guys all this stuff at the beginning of the pregame show. You've got all that so-called talent on that side. What's your excuse now for 13 points or 10 points? Excuse me. What's your excuse? John's been telling people the whole time, you're never going to see consistent, balanced offense in that system because of that quarterback. It's not a rip. You're 7-2. You just have to deal with the ugly person in the room.
I just feel crazy feeling like, you guys are telling me my expectations are too high. They're the highest paid offense in pro football. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. They're the fucking highest paid offense in pro football. John, you can tell me you've never seen the evidence.
They're
the highest paid offense in pro football.
That's not evidence of successful
You're
football.
7-2. That's the evidence.
That's evidence.
Expectation, John. You think Jeffrey Lurie's sitting in that box happy with the way the offense looks?
No, I'm sure he's not. Then he should go get a
different. You stand. How about owner? How about the guy signing the paychecks?
Then go get a quarterback that can throw for 300 yards, but you're going to lose games and you're going to turn the football over. I don't know. Which one do you want? Bro. I mean, the money they spend, the organization they have, they can go out and get a high volume thrower if they want it. They could start turning the football over, and they could start going, I don't know, instead of 7-2, 5-4.
Yeah, but you're going to the extremes of I never said I want a new quarterback. I never said that they should go and get a new quarterback.
No, but you would need one.
This is what?
You would need one for a high volume offense.
Play that style.
He's not that guy.
You would need.
I've seen Jalen Hurts with my own two eyes.
You have never seen Jalen Hurts on a week-to-week.
You would need one to play that style of ball.
You have never seen Jalen Hurts on a week-to-week basis throw the football through the air outside of one season, and since 22, it has gone the other way. And since Barkley has been added to the team, it has been an inconsistent passing game, and it will remain as long as he's on the team. You're not going to get anything else than this. You're just not.
How do you guys think Kevin Patullo did tonight?
I think he did as good as the quarterback did. John,
yeah, I mean,
you call plays. John, you call plays to the skill
from
set.
Week to week.
You call plays to the skill set of your quarterback, not what you want to throw and not what you want to run. I mean,
Well, I mean, there were a couple third and longs where they ran draws, and I assume that's going to upset people because it upsets people to no end on social
Why shouldn't
media.
it not, John? They have these two receivers that are these great receivers.
Because guess what? If you throw the ball on 3rd and 14 or 3rd and 12, you're going to be more susceptible to getting past rush. They're going to pin their ears back. You're going to be hurried at times. You're going to throw the football. It might be tipped. It might be over the middle of the field if you're trying to always convert these. Again, they're risk averse. I stipulate that. They are risk averse. That's part of their formula to win these games.
Zander, how many more games do you need to see before you are convinced that this will never be a high-powered offense and balanced?
Dude, I've seen with my own two eyes them be a more higher-powered offense than it. Again,
not on a consistent basis. You have
for 350 yards
every week
and 42 points. That's not what I'm calling for. That they're running halfback draws to Will Shipley on 3rd and 12. They have DeVonta Smith and AJ Brown.
I have not seen them since Barkley's been on this team be a consistent, balanced offensive football.
Why are you going to? I'm not talking about being consistent on a 16-game sample size. They called a draw on 3rd and 12 3 times tonight. They have AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith. Do they not?
Because they're conservative.
I think that was a good use, and the only explanation for that is, hey, just this is the offense, Zander. Don't expect anything else.
It's the quarterback.
What the fuck are we talking about,
it's
guys?
The quarterback. They're being conservative.
They're risk averse, as I said. By the way, they're not the only team that runs draws on 3rd and 12. I mean, it's a common thing to do in the NFL.
Hey, the Ravens should practice that more.
That by no means is some strange play call that they're the only ones in the NFL to do. In fact, it's pretty common because people don't want to turn it over. But from the standpoint of this particular team, they're going to have big games and they're going to have small games offensively. That's the way they've been, and that's the way they will continue. They might go out and score 40 against Detroit. I doubt it, but they might. They have that potential to do it. I'm not saying they don't have the potential to do it. What I'm saying is they're not going to be consistent throwing the football from week to week to week to week. They're not. I've had this discussion with the Eagles executive. They know what they have. They're playing to the strengths of what they have.
Say it, John. John.
I've said it a million times.
No,
People aren't ready for this discussion.
Like losers. They play conservative like losers. They are damn lucky that Vic Fangio is the defensive coordinator of this football team. Because if that defense gives up one bad game, we are cooked with this offense. Who is
nobody likes Vic Fangio more than me, but they were winning consistently before Vic even got here. So, yeah, Vic made it better. Don't get me wrong. But this team was winning consistently before he got here. This is a very good team. Obviously, they find ways to win. It's a very unique team. How many times have I used that word, Zander? They don't do it conventionally. They do it in a style that you're not supposed to be able to do it in. But at some point, if you do it enough, I mean, this is a team that has now won more games than anybody else on the road. And then I've talked about that. Again, they beat Matt LaFleur again. They've never lost to the Packers. They've never lost. They're 10-0 against the NFC North with Detroit coming in the Nick Sirianni era. They'll get a chance to go 11-0. They have the best road record in the NFL during the Nick Sirianni era, which strays longer than Vic Fangio. They won 9 of 11 overall on the road. They're 5-0 in the bye, which again, straight off the bye, stretches past the Vic Fangio era.
Hey, John, they've won 21 of 26 regular season football games.
I mean,
the last 2 years.
This this fan base is pretty spoiled, man. Pretty freaking spoiled.
You can be pretty
You know,
spoiled.
other teams have these.
You've won
Now,
21.
John, I appreciate that you want to.
I just ran down the list.
If you think that we should just the greatest assembly of talent that's ever been in Philadelphia in the history of this franchise, and we should just roll over and say, okay, we won 10-7. Why do we need the offense to do anything more?
Yeah.
That's a stupid mentality.
Who said roll over? Roll over.
It's not a mentality.
I'm
You're
being
not accepting.
realistic.
You're not accepting who the quarterback is. That's the problem.
I'm ready for the AJ. AJ Brown, fire up the tweets, my guy. Come on, baby. Fire up the tweets, AJ.
Hey, you know what? Hey, John. John, they just don't want to accept the fact that the offense is limited. The quarterback is limited.
They think they have Dan Marino who can throw for 300 whenever he wants and rolls out of bed.
Dan Marino. John,
okay, Joe Flacco. Okay, Joe, he'll never be Joe Flacco.
You hate the extremes. And then you go to the extreme. Nobody fucking asked for Dan Marino.
Okay, he'll never be Joe Flacco.
Give me the high. Then you give me a high volume thrower you want. Give me any of them.
Well, why
wait a minute? He'll never be Joe Flacco.
When they took the deep shot to DeVonta Smith, they ended up with a touchdown. Why don't they do that on other 3rd and 12s when they have 2 receivers they pay $65 million for? Why do they pay them then? Why?
Oh, sure. Take a deep shot every time. Take a deep shot every time it's 3rd and 12. That sounds play calling. Take a deep shot. Take a deep shot. The people aren't going to figure that out. The whole point is they were moving the football on that drive. They got the big play to Saquon, which was a little, flare pass, desperation. He breaks the tackle. Then they're in a position where they can take a shot play. They take a shot play and it works. 3rd and 12, you're not in a position of strength at 3rd and 12 to take that shot play.
Okay, good. So just let's just be pussies and just air it out. I mean, John, that is the most loser mentality I've ever heard in my fucking life. I'm sorry. That is
all they do is win. How is it a loser mentality? That is a loser mentality.
3rd and 12. Yep, just air it up, give it up. Yep. It's one of the most expensive offense in football. Why would we try and go for it?
Why does the financial aspect have anything to do with what happens on the football field? Other than if you want to blame Howie Roseman for misevaluating, if you'd like, feel free. There's no guarantee that you're not pointing to some standard that because the Philadelphia Eagles decided to pay this guy this amount of money that he's the best player or he's this or he's that. They got to do it on the field. They got to perform on the field. They win games. They win games because of the style of football they play. They've looked at what they have. They've decided that this is the way to go about winning games. They've won games in an historic fashion, so it's hard to argue with the fact that they're doing the wrong thing. They've won games at a higher rate than any other point in Philadelphia Eagles football. And, oh, by the way, they've been around since 1933, so it's not a small sample size.
Are the Eagles offense in the locker room right now saying that was a good output? Okay, good job, everybody.
No, what they're saying in the locker room right now is that was a great win against a good football team.
If you're the defense, absolutely, you're saying that. I mean,
my only point is, I know they're going to have these games. Nobody's saying they're happy with these games. Nobody's saying they're not trying to. They're always trying to have a perfect passer rating like they had against the Vikings. That's the goal. It's unrealistic, but that's the goal. Nobody's saying they're happy with it. I'm just saying I understand they're going to happen. They've happened again and again and again and again, and they're not going to stop because they have a good game, and they will have a good game, and they will have more good games.
People just can't understand. They don't accept the quarterback's limitations. And that they play call around those limitations. It's what it is.
Pretty much.
So you'll be singing the same tune I am tomorrow on your show, and you're
No,
ripping into the offense.
No. I just said, what did you not hear from me? The limitations of the quarterback make it so that you play like that. I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm changing.
Are we not skating on thin ice a little bit, where the defense has to do
Your margin of error is not there that you had a year ago.
I don't like the margin of error. I don't like it at all. They had a chance to, if Jordan Love has a decent pass and throws that to Christian Watson, throws it where he should throws it to let him run across the field instead of run into Andrew Makuba, they might tie that game. They might win that game.
Yeah, Xander, you know what your margin was a year ago? You had a historic run game. That margin's gone. There's no room. There's no margins. You're going to play these tight one-score football games the rest of the year out. You're not blowing anybody out. You might blow the Giants out, but you're not blowing anyone out. You don't have that capability on offense to blow anybody out. I know people look at the names on the back of the jerseys and assume that. How many more fucking games do people need to see?
Well, why do you think AJ's pissed off? Why do you think DeVonta's pissed off?
Yeah, but you guys are making me feel like I'm fucking insane for thinking the same thing. AJ, the star receiver's going to Twitter with the same
you're
shit.
Just not accepting that they're limited on offense.
You're not. You're expecting consistency.
You're not going to get it.
That's what I'm ripping. I mean,
yeah, you're never going to get it.
You're going to have good games, and you're going to have games like this offensively in the passing game.
As long as that run game remains the way it is right now, you're going to see ball games like tonight every single night you play. When you get a game like you did against the Giants, where you're going for like 277, you're going to have fucking games where you completely control from the coin flip. Well, when you don't have a run game and you're getting stuffed on the run, well, you're going to have ball games like that. And Green Bay's defense is better than I thought. They showed up and played too. That's a good unit over there, dude. They can play over there.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys dropped 40 on their fucking head. That's what I watched.
Dallas Cowboys have a passing game that is 10 times better than the Philadelphia Eagle passing game. That's a fact.
So what you're telling is to just accept that we're not that good. That's what I should do. Just accept it.
Accept your passing game. I didn't say you're not that good. I said your passing game will never be in the room. But guess what? When you throw that high volume like you do, like Dak does, you're going to have more margin for turnovers. When you throw the ball 50 times a game, you're going to get more opportunity.
Well, that's the number. That's the number. So you're now through 9 games. You're past halfway through the season. The guy's got 16 touchdown passes and 1 interception. He's on a pace to throw 2 interceptions in an NFL season. Like, there's good. There's good to it.
He doesn't throw the ball in the tight window. He doesn't throw the ball to the teeth of defense. He does. That would be an insane stat for a guy like Matthew Stafford. That would be an insane stat for a guy like Jordan Love. That's not Jalen Hurts' game. Okay. And I watched it with my own 2 eyes for 9 games so far this year. That's not that impressive of a statistic. It's good. I get it. It's a part of their. It's a
very impressive statistic because nobody else does it.
Because nobody else plays like that, John.
Exactly.
Right. And no one's 7-2 like that.
So why is the statistic impressive if nobody else plays like that?
Because it's resulting in wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it has nothing to do with the offense. I mean, is the offense the reason that we won tonight?
Some of those critical plays that you made on the offensive side of the football, dude, you had to win. If you win
sometimes I feel like we watched completely different games. I mean, I watched
no. You are expecting this. No, Zander. We saw the same game. The problem is we know that offense is limited. You don't.
I know you and John are like, you guys know.
You refused after 9 games. 7 of those games have been inconsistent all season long on offense. 2 of them were pretty good against the Minnesota Vikings and against the New York Giants. Other than that, you tell me you think they've played 4 quarters of football any game? I don't think so.
All right, let's go over to the defensive side. I mean, we're clearly at a stalemate here with the offense. Obviously, a tremendous defensive performance. I think these guys are so far ahead of schedule, it's not even funny. And thanks to Vic Fangio and Jalen Phillips, obviously a massive addition to this football team. Big draft. Everybody really. And by the way, Nakobe Dean, John, I don't really care what you say about getting Jahad Campbell on the field. Nakobe Dean needs to be on the football field. That dude is a fucking stud. He is a stud. I would give him a contract extension is what I would do with Nakobe Dean. I mean, that dude is a beast. Sills, what'd you see defensively today?
Yeah, he has totally benefited from having Vic Fangio as his coordinator. Sometimes coordinators, man, they can just turn the switch and they can just really get the best out of football players. And Sean Desai couldn't do it. Not even Jonathan Gannon could, but Vic Fangio has. He's really settling in. And the only problem, again, one more time about Nakobe, as good as his talent is, I don't trust him. He's just not reliable when it comes to his health. And for me to build my defensive football team around a guy I don't trust yet, well, again, we'll have to address that in the offseason. Let's see if he makes it through the season. But he is an outstanding player when it comes to him being able to play the run. I thought he was pretty decent in the pass game. By the way, I thought Campbell had a wobbly game a little bit, but I thought he also made some plays. Now, remember, he's a rookie. So as a rookie, I thought he was sensational. As a guy in the scheme, a couple times he got beat, a couple times he got a penalty called against him, but I thought he's not a liability.
Yeah, that was there was a chance when you started thinking, and they just don't happen in the NFL in the modern era, and actual shutouts where you had a chance and he got called for that. He kind of panicked on it. He didn't need to either.
No, yeah,
he was in good position, but that's a young player. He's gonna he panicked a little bit in space, and it was a penalty, but he was there in coverage.
That's a part of it, though, right? Isn't that a part of it, though, John? Just being a young player and you're trying to compete for a championship. You know what I mean? You don't want those mistakes. I'm not blaming them for it.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's the difficult part. It's like you can't just sign everybody. The difficult part is it isn't just about this year. It's about long term. He's a first round pick. He's going to be here. Jacoby's not going to be here. So, I mean, that factors into it. Now, it's a tough tightrope to balance because you want to win another Super Bowl because the window is open. And yeah, I would trust Nakobe more as well. And he's got tremendous football instincts. He's healthy, which is amazing in its own right to come back from that type of injury. He's very physical despite, his lack of size. He brings that energy. And I think having Zach Baum next to you helps both of them, to be honest. But I thought everybody played well today. I think Nakobe played well. I think Phillips was off the charts in his first game. I thought Baum was great. I think even Reed, who's not having a great year, played better. I think Jalix Hunt played better. Cooper got caught for a couple holding calls. Ironically, he might be the one guy who didn't play up to his usual standard. Jahad, I thought, played well, except for the one play. I thought Adoree Jackson played well. Carter played well. Everybody played well. Nolan, everybody. Quinyon, some of the coverage of Quinyon Mitchell was unbelievable. Moro Jomo got interior pressure. This was, you talk about this was good defense versus good defense. And the Eagles' defense was a little bit better. And the Eagles' offense, bad offense versus bad offense. And the Eagles' offense was a little bit better. Really, on both sides of the ball. It was good versus good on defense and bad versus bad on offense. But they were a little bit better on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the edges showed up tonight. I mean, a couple times I saw Campbell out there on the edge. He got blown up out there a few times out there. But, again, he's still learning a new position. They lined him up out there. But, yeah, as you said, John, Quinyon Mitchell, man, he's really a staple back there. Those two dudes playing back there are just absolutely fantastic. Cooper DeJean and also Quinyon Mitchell. I thought the linebackers, as you said, I thought they scraped exceptionally well. I'll tell you, the two linebackers played really well. I think it's because Carter and Davis played well. I mean, I thought they controlled the middle of that offensive line, and they really couldn't get, I thought he's a tough runner. He's a good runner, John. I mean,
he's an amazing runner. He's been doing that since college.
Really is a really good, underrated football player. He's a good player, man.
So he's one of those players that when you tackle him, you feel it the next day.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, I agree completely. Guys, I want to talk about Nick Sirianni a little bit tonight.
Go ahead,
John.
Yeah, the defense. I like I said, Jalen Phillips. That's where I started. I mean, to me, that was the big sort of trade pickup for. Even though people got caught in the big name trap with Jair Alexander, Jalen Phillips was what that trade deadline was about. And I know people wanted to splash in Myles Garrett, or they wanted to splash in Micah Parsons, but this is a really good football player. And everything falls into place on that defensive front when he's there and he's playing. And to be that good this early, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better, and his impact on that defense is going to be significant. And I think if you think about last year and we talk about what they lost, he's a better player than Josh Sweat. He's better. So imagine what Josh Sweat gave to you last year in the run to the Super Bowl. Now you have an edge rusher who's better than that, because I believe Jalen Phillips is that type of player.
When healthy.
Yeah, John's on a little bit of a delay, but I agree. And I will say this about Phillips, too. The book on him has always been he's a great pass rusher. I don't think he's a liability. It certainly wasn't in game one as a run defender. I mean, he had made that play at the end there, shed the block, boom, made the hit. I thought he was tremendously good against the run.
Yeah, he did.
Set the edge perfectly. Yeah, I thought he was great against the run tonight.
Yeah. He, of all the guys in the front seven, he was the most impressive guy out there. John said it with Vaughn. I thought just a situational scheming, when to bring pressure. You know what, man? I'll tell you, there's been certain guys in the past that you go back to, but Carson was great at it. Jim Johnson was great at it. Even Jim Schwartz is good at bringing pressure when he did. I mean, Vic Fangio, man, just has a feel for the game on bringing pressure when it is needed, whether it's bringing safety pressure, corner pressure, internal pressure. He's just so good. The gaming twist that they did, Clint Hurd had those guys playing exceptionally well. They did their games. Everybody was lining up right. I got to tell you, man, it was a clean defensive foot. There were very few mistakes in that game schematically, defensively. It was as good a game as you could possibly say. And I'll even do this. I'll go on the other side. I thought Green Bay, like you said, Zander, I know you're frustrated with the offense. Hey, Jeff Hadley, shutting them down to 10 points. I walk out of that building at Lambeau. If I'm a defensive guy, I'm disappointed I lost. I shut the Eagles down to 10 points and under 300 yards in total offense. I want to see them again in the playoffs.
I'm absolutely happy to. No, I get it. They lost the game, but if you're Jeff Hafley, there's a lot to build on there with that defense. There's no doubt about it. Good stuff there, guys. I want to talk about Nick Sirianni. A lot of questionable calls from Nick Sirianni. I don't think it was a very well-coached game, certainly offensively for the Eagles. I thought Kevin Petula was terrible tonight. I thought Nick Sirianni was terrible. The end game, but I mean, let's just talk about the last call, though. I don't even understand the thought process. Normally, you can at least understand the thought process. I don't even understand the thought. They had 25 seconds and no timeouts. Punt the ball. I mean, pin them back. What are we doing here? Giving him 25 yards. He's lucky that Jordan Love threw the ball in that short route and they had a 65-yard field goal. If that was 3 yards further, that game might still be going right now. I thought Sirianni was terrible tonight.
How about this? Even if you did this, Zander, and I'm not saying you should do this, think about this, John, for a second. Say you ran a play on 4th down. You're not going to get the offense out there in time to run a play. They had no timeouts left. You would have ran them on. They would have lined up with 1 second left instead of having throws to try to get in field goal position. If you ran the ball, if you just did that, you would have ran the clock off because they're not going to get the offense out there on time. If you went there, what they did with those, how about this too, Zander? The 2 passing plays that stopped the fucking clock. What were you thinking about doing that? Run the fucking ball. The enemy's your clock. It's nothing, not the Packers. The enemy was the clock.
Well, you can't go for it on fourth down because the clock's going to stop. So you're going to, if you run the,
I got it, John. But what I'm saying,
you're going to run the football. You're going to get the 3 seconds, but yeah, you're going to get the 3 seconds. But they're going to get the ball right there, and they're going to. So to me, the punt, rare. I'm an aggression guy. I mean, I think the Eagles were ahead of the curve for a lot of years, really dating back to Doug Peterson. And it helped them win the first Super Bowl by being more aggressive than everybody else. Then, Dan Campbell and company caught up, and a few people are that same kind of aggression. Now a lot of people are. But this is an instance where it makes no sense to go for it on fourth down. Look, if they hit the go route, everybody's going nuts, and it's people are celebrating in the streets. But when it doesn't work, and too often it has worked, so there's a little hubris in that. All of a sudden, you give them a chance to get in position to get a field goal and tie the game. It was just a dumb decision, and it was a dumb decision. I would have said the same thing if they had a touchdown. It was a dumb decision. It was a dumb decision at that point. You just punt the ball. You got one of the best punters in football. He's not going to make the mistake. And even if he does and it goes in for a touchback, you still back him up to the 20, and they have no time to get where they need to go, especially with a kicker. Brandon McManus isn't what he once was when he was in Denver. Plus, it's freezing in Green Bay. He's not making a 65-yard field goal, as you saw. But if he hits that shot to Christian Watson, we're having a different conversation. And Nick Sirianni left that door open. So yeah, I think it's perfectly legitimate to criticize. That was a dumb decision. Period.
I agree. Completely dumb decision. And John, you got cut off. I think Patullo. I didn't think he had a good game call tonight. I didn't like a lot of his calls in a lot of different moments there. Felt like they kind of started to rely on that pass to Goddard too, that same little flare out. It worked a bunch, so I get why you keep going back to it. But felt a little bit stale and repetitive. Same on the out routes on the third and shorts. Just didn't like the play calling, or you'll say I didn't like the results. I didn't like the situations they put him in. What did you think of Kevin Patullo tonight?
Well, you know me, Zander. Yeah, you didn't like the results. I mean, the one to Dallas Goedert is wide open. He didn't get his head around, or Jalen Hurts was too fast. One or the other was probably Jalen Hurts was too fast. So, if he waits, he's wide open for another first down, basically. From the standpoint of, the results weren't there. I mean, the obsession with the 3rd and 12s and the 3rd and 14s, I don't get it. Like, you're in a bad spot on offense. I don't care if you have A.J. Brown, Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice. You're going to get 3rd and 14 more than teams that don't have A.J. Brown, Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice, but you're still going to get a lot of bad plays involved in that because it's advantage defense. So you don't just, I saw a bunch of people call it the coward's way out. You got a defensive player sitting right there, Dan Sileo. What do you want to do as a defensive player? You want to behind the sticks on 3rd down. Why? So your pass rushers can pin their ears back and come at you like lunatics and take shots at the quarterback. That's when turnovers occur. That's why when you try to occasionally, you have a Saquon Barkley, and you try to catch somebody with Will Shipley, they're not going to give the ball to Will Shipley. Who knows? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But the assumption that, it's 3rd and 12, just throw the ball to AJ or throw the ball to DeVonta, doesn't work that way. This is the NFL. There's good players on the other side. There's Xavier McKinney, who has done this to the Eagles time and time again. Evan Williams, who got beat on the dagger, but is having a great year. Keyshawn Nixon, Karrion Ballington had a chance for an interception earlier in the game. Really? Everybody thinks that way? It's 3rd and 14, just throw it to AJ? They did that on 4th down. Did it work?
Again, you're dumbing it down.
Finally did it on 4th down.
You're dumbing it down to make the argument sound worse. Nobody's saying just throw up a pass.
Like dumbing it down. How
is
is
there no
it?
other fucking play call you can come up with to get your $65 million receivers the ball, or at least try?
Yes. You're right. It's a dummy down offense.
Okay.
Right.
I literally dumbed it down because earlier in this very show, you said 3rd and 12, throw it to AJ, throw it to DeVonta. How is that dumbing it down? I'm just repeating what I heard. I'm saying you're in a bad position as an offense.
Receivers on the fucking team. What are you talking about?
I just think you're really looking at Jalen Hurts.
3rd and 12.
He's not going to make that
It's
play.
3rd and 12, 3rd and 14. That is not a positive stance for the offense.
Yeah,
John,
that
is what you're trying to get.
John, is the approach with this Eagles team then hope the defense can hold teams to 7 points, and if they don't, just not going to win games? Is that what the approach is? If the defense doesn't dominate, okay, the offense is this what it's what it is. Anybody who expects or wants anything better than this is off their fucking rocker. Is that what the approach is?
I don't know.
That is not the way this locker.
How many more games do you need to see?
How many more games do you need to see? How many more times? The approach is don't turn the fucking football over.
I mean, they're not.
That's
they're
the approach.
They're going to play this way, and this is what it is. What people can't understand is, again, this is what it is, man. This is how they're going to play games. They don't have the margin they had a year ago because they don't have a dominant running attack, and this is how they're going to play football games. Expecting more? Absolutely. But why would you expect more when you haven't seen more? I mean, last year they were 29th, and everyone told me a year ago, hey, Sills, they choose not to throw. That was bullshit then, and it's bullshit now.
And by the way, they last season, to Dan's point about the running game, last season, they hit multiple 3rd and longs running plays for 1st downs. They had 4 or 5 of them because that was the type of season they were having running the football. They did the same fucking thing last year.
Zander, that team's not better than the Rams. They're not. They're not
even close to them.
They're not better than the Rams. They're just not.
They put up 10 points tonight. 10 points. And you guys are telling me I'm crazy for expecting more. Come on.
No. You can expect more.
You know what pisses me off, though? John, you used to tell me all the time, all summer, winning cures everything. Nobody wants to look at the problems when you win.
Can you point to one team in the NFL that hasn't had a bad game?
No.
What do you mean a bad game? Are you telling me this is our first bad game?
No. But you're trying to say we scored 10 points like that matters. Like everybody has these games except Detroit. Right. Everybody, but they have bad defensive games.
People think that this offense is going to click into high gear and do something. You're fucking drunk. You're on drugs. You're just on drugs.
Like who doesn't have bad games? But the problem is the other teams, when they have bad games, they generally lose them. Now the Eagles have lost 2 games this year. So that again, that's rare for them. They had won 16-17 to end last season. But they how many times have I gone down the list of bad they had bad passing games in the playoffs against the Rams and the Packers last year. Everybody forgets because they went on to win the Super Bowl. They had awful passing performances. Passing performances, by the way, that were worse than today in the playoffs against the Rams and the Packers. Packers first, then the Rams. In last season's playoffs, they had worse passing performances than they did today.
I don't
know. They're not running the ball the same this year. So
that's the key.
Of course. I understand that. So now the expectation for anybody is just, all right, the offense they don't run the ball. Don't expect anything more. Why? Why do we have A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
There's zero reason to have those guys on your team. I'll just go and sign a great defensive player in the year and throw the ball to Darius.
Apply for Howie's job and try to go about it that way. They're trying to win games.
Good one, John. That's a good answer, brother.
Because it makes no sense to me. Like DeVonta's out there to make a big play when he gets his opportunity. He literally said it on Saturday to me. When we get the opportunity, we got to make the play. He got the opportunity. He made the play. It was a great play. If a mediocre receiver is out there or a less than mediocre receiver, they're not making that play. AJ's made big plays. How many big plays did he make against Minnesota? He got the opportunity, very rare, but he got the opportunities. He made the plays. That's why they're there. Now, do they get opportunities like other big-time receivers? No. That's why they're frustrated. But I'm just trying to be real about it. It's not changing. That's all I'm saying. It's not changing. They're there when the opportunities are there. DeVonta and AJ generally make the plays, and DeVonta did it today. He did it today and won the football game by going over top of a very good safety to make the play when he got his opportunity. That's why they're there. And they're very consistent in doing it.
So the win cured all today, John.
What's that?
So the win cured all today.
No, it didn't cure all. They
had
a bad offensive game. Nobody's saying they had a good offensive game. I'm saying I expect these offensive games because I've seen them time and time again.
Who's shocked?
That's all I'm trying to say.
Who's shocked that they played like this offensively? Who's shocked? Only people in Philly are. What I'm saying is I'm not shocked. Been saying it all year. Saying it since last year. The only difference this year is Barkley and the inability to run it.
Well, and I'm saying I don't know why people in Philly are shocked.
Well, because they think the quarterback is in the room with the Allens of the world and these other guys, and that they have A.J. Brown and DeVonta, and you're going to see a high-powered number 5 passing offense in the NFL. What metric have you seen that? I mean, really?
I get what you guys are saying, but Big Sills, I know Miami didn't get the dominance year after year by getting to the locker room and saying, okay, well, this is just what we are, so we're not going to try and get better. We're not going to try and be more consistent. We're not going to try and do anything better because, hey, this is just who we are. No. I know that's not what you guys did.
Oh, no, because I'll tell you what my coach did.
You guys probably beat a team 52-3 and said,
I'll tell you exactly what my coach did, like your coach did, Nick Saban. They pulled that fucking guy and got another guy in there and put 2 in. That's what my coach would do.
But they're trying to get better. I see it every week. I'm down there every stinking practice. They're trying to get better.
They're not.
They're trying to get better all the time. But these games are going to happen because they don't
what are your expectations?
Have a high volume.
What are your expectations? I'd like to hear those. On a week-to-week basis for your offense, what are you looking for?
I mean, you're looking for a little bit more consistency. You're looking to be able to move the ball. You're certainly not looking to give up every time you have a 3rd and long situation. I know John has tried to tell me that that's universal in the NFL, and anybody who does that is
You've never seen a draw play on 3rd and long in the NFL?
I've seen the draw play. Yes, I wouldn't like to do it every fucking time. Maybe if you're the Tennessee Titans, you don't have anybody to throw to.
I don't recall me saying you should do it every time. I'm trying to say it's a staple in the NFL. Dan, have you ever seen draw plays on 3rd and long in the NFL?
I've seen it.
Why is this controversial?
Wait, John, I saw Tom Brady run probably 1,000 of them in his career on 3rd because you know what he did? Tom Brady played the percentages. He threw, and again, he believed in special teams.
Tom Brady.
Wait, no, I'm talking about the philosophical approach. Brady's not going to turn the ball over. If it's 3rd and 12, you think he's throwing a plus 25 play? No way. It's a check down. They're going to punt, and they're going to play defense, and they're going to play field position and time of possession. That's what the Eagles are doing in that game. That's how they're winning games. It's a Brady approach.
I hope this defense keeps this up then, man, because, man, they are a great thing in this game. There's no doubt about that.
I'll tell you what, Tanner, that was one of the most impressive things, the addition of Jalen Phillips. It's like you added the gold slipper. It was like it fit, you know? I mean, hey, right, John? Sometimes you bring a guy in and it just doesn't fit. Now, listen, that's only one sample size there. And I want to see it against Detroit too. But boy, I'll tell you what, man, that guy fit like a glove tonight. And he looked like did it not look like he's been a Philadelphia Eagle for about 2 years? He was exceptional.
Yeah, it was an impressive debut for Jalen Phillips. And I look, you're not going to play that well every game because it's impossible to do that. But he's a huge upgrade to what they've been getting at the edge position so far. And I've been talking about this since the summer to get somebody, not the pie in the sky stuff with Garrett and Parsons, but get a difference maker, get a headliner, get a Josh Sweat. And they got a Josh Sweat, and maybe a little bit better than Josh Sweat. And I think it makes them a lot better because everybody else fits into place. Nolan Smith is not a headliner. As a number 2, it's pretty good. Jalen Hunt is not a starter at this stage of his career. As a number 3 guy, pretty good. Even Brandon Graham made a couple plays late. He almost got that guy in the backfield as a rotational player, his first game back. It's pretty good. Josh Uche, deep. Does anybody else have a better fit pass rusher than Josh Uche? It's going to be tough.
I'll tell you, John, those zone runs sometimes, I get it. You want to play field position and you don't want to throw the ball and test it on third down because you don't want to have turnover on the road. You're at Lambeau. I get it, but just banging into a wall sometimes, man. It's just, to end a series like that too. And to consistently do that. I mean, a couple times those zone runs when the zones were flooded, they just didn't make sense to me. And some of the situational play calling that was in there, they really love that analytics stuff, man. I mean, Vic is not analytics. Vic is Vic, and he takes the analytics he needs and he applies them. You could see the feel of the game and how he calls that defensive side of the football and how he brings the blitzes, how he doesn't bring it from the outside, internally, safety blitzes, corner. I mean, it's just night and day on how that guy is developing some of those dudes on that side of the football. He's a whale of a coach, man. I didn't really realize it, John, because there's a couple guys in the NFL that are outstanding defensive-minded guys. Spags has got 4 Super Bowl rings with 2 different football teams, and he's a really good coordinator as well. This guy here,
he ain't fake. I've been saying it for years.
I'll tell you, man, schematically, man, I mean, it's pretty impressive.
All right, well, we got the Lions. So hopefully this offense can do more because I can guarantee you the Lions ain't scoring 7 fucking points. That I can guarantee. So
everything's about matchups too, Zander. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes teams just match up against one another. You always say when you're talking about divisional opponents that sometimes matchups do that. So again, you run into a wall. Sometimes you just run into football teams that have your number. This is the game, John. This is the game that we didn't get to see last year. That we're going to get a chance to see that on Sunday night at Lincoln Financial. So, I mean, Zander, this is the game that everybody's been waiting for 2 years.
Well, if the offense drops a stinker like they did tonight, they'll get blown out in that game.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, if you go back to the Super Bowl where Belichick beat Sean McVay pretty soundly, he copied what Vic did to Sean McVay about 3 weeks earlier when he was in Chicago and completely shut down that awesome Rams offense. He completely copied the game plan. I guarantee Vic's going to look at that Minnesota game plan and make Jahmyr Gibbs block. Now, it's up to Dan Campbell to make sure he can get him out. But I guarantee he looks at that and says, I'm going to make that guy block. Vic is the best defensive coach in football. And number 2 is not close. That's my belief in Vic Fangio.
Let's go to some super chats. See what the great people of JAKIB Nation are saying. Scott Squad says, what a shit show. Agreed, Scott Squad. Harry says, escaped Lambeau with the W. That's all you can ask for. In a way, you're right. Corporate Pump said, sorry, man. In the most fitting way, we win the game and come away feeling like we lost. We are the worst show on turf. Don't disagree, Pump, but apparently you're not allowed to talk about that. Dirty D, Sirianni on that play call. What an idiot.
I've been talking about it for years.
Oh my God. It's the worst show on turf. Nobody is not saying that. You have this.
It's an ugly offense. How long have I been saying it's an ugly offense? How long have I been saying that? I
totally said your passing game is dog shit. I don't know what else to say. I've been saying it for 4 years.
You guys both sound like company guys. They sound like Bob Lynch.
This is totally amazing. Yeah. I haven't changed at all.
Neither have I.
It's an ugly offense. It's built around the quarterback, and that's what it is. And people don't want to have the conversation.
It's Josh Allen or somebody's not.
What do you mean? I just tried to have the conversation with you, John. You told me I was crazy for expecting anything more. I mean, I just tried to.
How is that having the conversation on the reason their offense is the way it is?
Well, is it you then that's walking on? Are you not saying what you want to say? Is that what you're saying to me? Say it. If you have something to say about the offense, then say it. Because
you've heard me say it
what the problem
a million times. So this will be 1,000,001. People don't want to have the conversation that Jalen Hurts is limited. They want to blame Kevin Patullo. They want to blame Kellen Moore. They want to blame Brian Johnson, and they want to blame everybody but the guy to blame. That's not my fault. I'm realistic. I'm based in realism.
And I've been saying
these
it for 4
games
years
are
now.
going to happen. These games are going to continue to happen. It's not Kevin Patullo. It's not Kellen Moore. It's not Brian Johnson. It's not Nick Sirianni. And it's not Shane Steichen, the one coordinator that people think was good for whatever reason. Every single one of their incarnations of this offense was basically the same for a reason, because they are building it, because they're all good football coaches, and they're building it around the strengths of the quarterback they have.
And the weakness.
Correct. And trying to mask the weaknesses.
Are you telling me you don't think there's anything they could do better to do a better job at that? This is just what it is? Because I did see Shane Steichen have him almost in the MVP conversation. And now Daniel Jones is almost in the MVP conversation. That was a good coach for Jalen.
They try to improve every single year. You did training camp updates. They were a completely different team.
Coach that you don't want to talk about. The training
they were a completely different team at the start of training camp in 2024 than they were that won the Super Bowl. They were trying to evolve. They were trying to run Kellen Moore's offense. All they did in the offseason and training camp was trying to run that offense. And when it didn't work, they scaled back. Same thing happened in 2021 when they put a lot on his plate early, and then they scaled back. Brian Johnson, that was about the defense. Kellen Moore, again, he would have been, if they didn't win the Super Bowl, he wouldn't have got a head coaching interview, never mind a job, because they weren't impressive last year in the passing game.
At all.
In fact, if you look at Kellen Moore's history, that was his worst passing offense ever.
His lowest ranking in his entire career as an offensive coordinator. And that was with that other guy that came in that when Dak got hurt.
Okay, so how do we explain then that Shane Steichen had Jalen playing much better than any of the other guys have had? Is there no explanation for that?
Because they didn't have Saquon Barkley back then, and they were forced to throw the ball more. So if you, and this is where you have
And
to
Hurts
go.
ran more.
And this is, well, yeah, he ran more as
and
well.
John, to your point, this is where I think Kevin Patullo is coming up short. The running game's not the same right now. So we need more from the passing game. He's not giving it.
Can't do it.
Shane did it with him.
Okay.
AJ
Sanders,
Brown had 1,500 yards
he-
that year.
how do you know that wasn't a one-year wonder in the passing game? He hasn't
Well,
done
it
it
looks
since.
like it was at this point.
Okay. I mean, bro, I feel your frustration. I got it. I do, really. But I've been consistent on how they build these offenses around him. It's not the coordinator, dude.
With all due respect, Sills, you don't feel shit. Alexander Harris says, all I'm going to say is I love the way the
What
defense.
a bullshit comment.
I don't mean it personally.
What
mean,
a bullshit
I
comment.
don't need you to try and say
That's
you
a
feel
bullshit
okay.
comment.
We
That's a
disagree on it.
bullshit comment.
It's not. If we disagree
You
on
can't.
it.
All right. For you, it isn't. For me, it's a bullshit comment.
Okay, well, I didn't mean it personally. Alexander says, all I'm going to say is I love the way the defense looks when they get pressure without the blitz. And Biz, you look like Big Sills. I don't know what that means, Biz. Jair says, Detroit blows us out the water. Pathetic offense. Jair, I'm with you. I'm with you completely.
Yeah, I don't think Detroit, is a very good team. I don't think they're blowing them out. I don't think there's any way they're blowing them out.
Well, the offense is going to have to be better than they were tonight.
Well, I think they are going to be better. What makes you think that this is? I mean, they played 9 games, right? I mean,
so
they've had
to
good
try
games.
and work on being more consistent. I know you're just like, this is what they are, but you don't think that should be something that they're working on, trying to be more consistent?
I said I understand this is what they are. They work every week to get more consistent. They work every week to get better.
Whatever they're doing.
I understand this is what they are because they've been this way for a long period of time. But they have for every down game they have an up game. And you just are coming off 2 of the up games. So the assumption was, well, it's fixed. Again, they had up games last year, and then they had Carolina, and then they had the playoff games, and they had up games. Like, it's not new. They had 5 or 6, literally 5 or 6 worse, poor passing performances last season than today.
So so now the expectation is basically just, okay, we're going to be inconsistent every week. Let's hope the defense can hold their own for us to go the distance. Is that?
I don't know how you get that out of what I just said. They try to improve every single week. They were trying today to improve during the game.
And that's my criticism, that they're failing. And you're telling me I shouldn't think that. I should just expect inconsistency instead of saying what they're doing isn't fucking working. They're not more consistent. They're not.
Okay.
You're saying they're working on it, and I'm saying the results are showing you it's not working.
Okay. Right.
So what is the differing point then? Other than you want them to be more consistent. They're working on it. They're trying to be more consistent. I'm just saying, if you look at the history of this team, and I'm not even going back to pre-Saquon Barkley, this team in this era, which to me shifted with Saquon, because that's when they became just super run heavy. In this stretch, which has been the most successful stretch of Eagles football ever, by the way, this is what they've been. This is what they've been. And they've had, and if you want me to look it up, I'll look it up to get you the exact number. But they've had many, many worse passing performances than what you saw today, which was actually not even that bad overall for this team. 183 yards, a touchdown, 15 of 26, 92.3 passer rating. There's been much, much worse. And you know that. You do this show. I mean, my God, remember Carolina last year?
The goal, I think, is to not be as inconsistent. And they're not getting there at all. And something's got to give.
Okay. Nobody's saying that's not the goal.
Whose fault is that, do you think?
I think Patullo has more fault than you guys are. I don't think it's Jalen's fault free.
I'm trying to say
more consistent with a bit different coordinator. I've seen it,
You've seen it with one coordinator. I mean, you've only seen it with one guy.
You can make the argument he was relatively
this first year, which he took over
week 8. You can make the argument.
Yeah. And again, that was that was 1 year pre-Saquon Barkley. Well, everybody thought Brian Johnson stunk. He didn't.
And John, when they increased the volume, the turnovers happened.
Yeah.
John, you're muted, brother. I can't hear you.
John,
you're muted and your internet's going.
Hey, he must be calling games from the link. Yeah. I'll tell you one coach who had a great game. That was Vic, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
He had
and Jeff Hafley had a good game.
Yep, he did. He had a great one too. He did. Those situations, man, that they had out there, man, I'll tell you. Thank God they got those players. I thought it was great seeing Lane come back in the game too.
Yeah,
okay, I did. I thought that was huge.
Lane's a tough guy, man.
Yeah.
He's a real tough dude.
Him coming back in.
John, your connection's spotty, so I'll just let you get out of here. Your final thoughts, John, on the game tonight.
Well, great debut for Jalen Phillips. I think that's the positive part on the defensive side of the football. Tremendous performance, one of the best performances defensively of this era. And I do think games have personalities. I say it all the time. And this one turned into a defensive game. And I thought bottom line is the Eagles were a little bit better on the defensive side of the football than the Packers were. And they were a little bit better on the offensive side of the football than the Packers were. There was some positives that even though people didn't see them because they're upset at the lack of points scored. But again, to have that opportunity, DeVonta Smith, you get one or two opportunities to make big plays a game in this offense, and he continues to make them. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that because he's having a tremendous, tremendous year, DeVonta Smith.
Good stuff. Johnny Mac, appreciate it, brother. We'll talk to you in the morning.
Thank you, John.
All right. See you.
Later, dude. There's Johnny Mac here on the JAKIB Postgame Show. Appreciate him doing it tonight. Plenty of still super chats that we'll get to tonight with everything going on. Sells, I really just didn't think tonight was a good game. I mean, I didn't come out of there feeling.
I didn't say it was. I never had. I thought the defense was. I thought the defense was spectacular. I never said the game offensively. I thought they were spotty, and they were just not any continuity when it came to the play calling. When it came to the passing game, they couldn't get the run game going. Some of those zone runs again. I don't get why he's zone running into a wall and then just kicking. I get it. They don't want the quarterback to threaten the field at all. And so their idea is just to punt away, play defense, and again, play situational football. As long as you don't turn the ball over. It's very boring, it's very stale, and it's very inconsistent.
I mean, the defense is definitely the big positive. If the defense keeps doing that every week, but
listen, they turned a really good play caller into he just crushed him tonight. Jordan Love is on the conversation for MVP. I saw it on
let me ask you a question. Do you think this team is good enough to go to the Super Bowl?
No, I don't.
Well, I think that's where our biggest disagreement is, because you already don't think they're good enough, which is fine. You're entitled to that. I'm not knocking you for that. I have the belief, and maybe it's fan-driven, that this team should go back to the Super Bowl. And when I watch the offense play like that, I say, that team's not going to the fucking Super Bowl. That's why I get pissed when they play like that, because that team is not going to the Super Bowl.
I know.
And I think they got to be better on offense.
Okay.
And I don't know. John tells me I'm crazy for thinking
I
that.
say since day one, they're not going to the Super Bowl. I've been consistent on that. They're not going. You're not gonna play that inconsistent and where it's not going to catch you in the playoffs against good football teams. You're just, hey, get this. You may win a ton of ball games, kind of like the Detroit Lions did a year ago. You're going to get in the playoffs. You're going to get knocked off because you're not going to be consistent enough, and a good defensive football team's going to beat you. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how I've changed. I've not changed anything on that. I think you get to the divisional round, you get knocked out. You think
if they play like that offensively, absolutely.
Or the other 7 games you played this year. You've had 2 games, Zander, where you played well. Giants in Minnesota. The rest of them, you've played a half or a quarter.
Half. Tonight was probably a quarter offensively, if that.
Hey, listen. Listen, man. I feel your frustration. I get it. I see it. Okay, because listen,
it's not frustration. It's more that I'm saying this shit, and it's like I shouldn't believe what I'm watching with my eyes. Like that was not a good fucking win. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. That was not a good win. If you're Jeffrey Lurie tonight is not happy, I guarantee it.
No,
I guarantee it.
If he's calling Doug Peterson in games when you're beating like Green Bay or Atlanta 17-14 on Mondays, they're going to want to know what the hell the problem is with that too. But that's part of being not satisfied with shit too.
Well, that's how I approach everything, and that's why I can't relate to these people who are like, we won the game.
I asked you a question.
No, bitch, all of you, shut the fuck up. Don't tell me how to think about things. I don't approach anything in my life where I walk away and say, well, hey, at least we had that. So, like, don't get better. That's bitch shit. And I know that's why I got mad at you earlier, because I know you know that.
I never said – no.
You played for not great.
Listen,
you played for the epitome of greatness.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have those expectations. I'm saying that you're not looking at the limitations. Your expectations are higher than the limitations that you have on your offense. And it starts with the quarterback. But, bro, he figures ways out to fucking win.
He didn't figure out a way to win tonight. The defense did.
Okay. Well, dude,
somebody tweeted to me, what a great throw by Jalen to DeVonta Smith. I'm like, really? It was an underthrown meatball that DeVonta Smith went up and high pointed.
That's what Aikman said.
Seriously? Why do people have to lie to themselves?
Because they feel better about it, because they want to have, like, again, why do you think I have an argument every single time when people are talking to me about Josh Allen or any of these other guys? It's because of exactly what we're talking about now. People have these psychotic expectations that he's going to be, because you have all this great talent around him, that he's going to utilize it. Your own college coach knew he couldn't do it. I mean,
the thing I'm struggling with is
this has followed him his entire career.
Yeah, it has. I mean, and to some extent it has. I mean, I saw it up close, obviously in college, but I've also seen him,
I get it.
Be much better than this. Yeah, 22. I've seen him be much better than this.
Well, that's like 3 years ago now.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've seen him be much better, though, in spurts this year. I mean, my problem is like,
okay, how much do you think it's coaching?
Definitely a good portion of my eyes. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that's like fire every coordinator, but like we hired a training wheels guy. You've been talking about this since March. We hired a guy who's never called a play in the NFL in his life. And we strapped him to an offense that's got playmakers all over the place. And John's telling me I'm supposed to accept that they're going to hand the ball to running back 3 on 3rd and 12. We got Saquon Barkley. We got Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, DeVonta Zander. That's normal. Fucking no, it's not. That's bitch shit. That is conservative loser football.
Then why do you think they do that? Why do you think the coaches have done that his entire career just about?
I don't know if I think some of that's on Jalen, but part of me is also thinks that some of that's on their inability to figure out how to put him in an environment to be more successful. I don't think Shane Steichen would have called that.
I know why you destroyed Carson Wentz now. Not you. Like, I'm talking about they can't coach these guys. And I disagree with John and Shane Steichen doing the job that he's doing with Daniel Jones. Shane Steichen's he's a great coach.
Yeah, look, he's a beast.
Dude, let me tell you something. They got Gardner Minshew to the Pro Bowl. Gardner freaking Minshew.
He's proven his weight in gold.
He surely has.
I think it's a bad strategy to rely on your defense to hold teams to 7 points.
And then get this. Well, not only that. Okay, think about what you're not connected on. So you're telling me that they're relying on your defense to fucking play football and help you win games? Then why did Howie take a blowtorch to it? If that was so important for him, your comment back to me, not you, everyone, is we can't pay everybody? Well, if you're trying to win games with your defense, why do you put Vic behind the 8 ball like that? Are you just assuming he's going to work his magic week in and week out like that?
I guess the expectation.
I guess that's what they're doing here.
Well, the expectation there seemingly to me is that Vic is going to make more out of less. He's a better chef.
I'll tell you this. He's the
better
best
chef.
He's the best coach in that building. Hey, there's nobody better than him in that building.
I mean, it's like they stick a 1-star chef inside the kitchen of a 5-star hotel, and they got a 5-star chef, and they stuff him at Burger King.
Yep. Bro, they've got the most limited coaches on offense, and they've got the most experienced coaches on defense. It's crazy, man. And I agree with you. You play like that against Detroit, they're going to put 40 on you.
I'm telling you right now. People aren't going to like to hear that, but this offense is going to have to be a little
short
bit
work
better.
week too.
Yeah, Monday night games, Sunday night football next week in Philly. The Boo Birds are bad. That's the thing I love about Philly fans. Every one of these guys who's mad at me, they were tweeting for 3 quarters. This offense sucks. Fire Kevin Patullo. Do this. Jalen's not having a good game. And then they put up measly 7 points in the 4th quarter. And everybody's like, okay. Woo,
hey.
Okay,
and then Nick was trying to help Green Bay win it.
Yeah, that was the stupidest play I've ever. I don't even again, there's aggression. Okay. That was reckless. That was stupid. There was not even any logical.
I can't wait till someone asks him in the presser why he did that.
Well, he already spoke, so I'm sure somebody said something. I mean,
that would have been my first question. Explain that. What were you trying to do? Lose the game? I mean, and then the passes that stopped the clock. I mean, did it not feel like they panicked a little bit at the end there?
No, it did. It did. I didn't really understand what he was doing. Like it was such a clear punt scenario. Well, okay, just pin them deep. They got 25 seconds. They got no timeouts, and they got no pass catchers. They're not going to get there.
How many days until AJ Brown starts fucking tweeting?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm going to retweet it. I'm going to repost it. I'm going to reshare it. I'm going to like it. And all of you are going to have to cry to your mama about it. Frank Cal says, Frank Wright can't come soon enough. Kevin Bumtulo sucks. Leave him in Green Bay. We got lions breathing down our neck. At least Goff is a statue in the pot. I'll tell you what, that defense looked good tonight.
Boy, they did. I thought Green Bay's defense was good.
Yeah.
Dude, Green Bay was good in there, man. They really were. Hey, dude, that pass, you're right, man. That pass to DeVonta, I almost tweeted it. I go, what did Hurts? I thought Hurts punted it.
It was a wobbly meatball underthrown. I mean, DeVonta, great job.
Even Aikman goes, it was underthrown.
You know, it's not hard for me. Like Jalen didn't have his best game. I'm okay with that. I'm not expecting Jalen to have great games every single week. I think overall, though, this offense is there's too many games that are this bad for me to turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if it was like 2 out of 8. You're like, okay, they come. You're not going to be great. This is like most of the season we've had an in-out offense.
Yeah. And you know what is exposing it? Your lack of running game. The lack of running game. Last year, remember what the excuse was? We had an iconic running attack. We didn't need to throw. That was so far from the truth. You're lucky you didn't need to throw. or you wouldn't have won the Super Bowl.
Let me rattle through a couple of these. Bobby says, is it possible A.J. Brown has lost a step? It's possible, but I don't think that's what's happened.
How can you tell if he's lost a step when he only got 2 targets?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I watched somebody put a film up. Literally, the guy's cutting across. There's nobody near him.
Yeah.
And Jalen's right in the pocket. He looks and he rolls to the left. Dude, throw the fucking ball. Dunk the Funk says, Eagles might be the only team that consistently play to not lose, and it works. Fly, Eagles, fly. This is tough. Yeah, I don't like that mentality. I don't do anything in my life to not lose.
Dude, that's I don't know how many more times I'm going to continually tell people this is how this year is going to be, is because the running game has exposed the offense and you don't have a margin of error, man. If that offense the only way that offense is going to get going is if that run game gets going. DeVonta Smith said it to John McMullen this past weekend. Mm-hmm. We're a run-dominant team. They're not a pass-dominant team, Zander.
They got A.J. Brown in hell, man. He's in prison.
He sure is. He hates being here. There's no doubt.
I can't blame him. Look, I'm an Eagle guy, but I can't blame him. That talent, and they don't even try. It's like they don't even try and use. They don't even want to make a concerted effort to get the guy involved.
They don't even look his way anymore.
No, they don't. 3-4 says, you wouldn't be mad if Hurts didn't fumble early. You know what? I mean, look, you want to hold on to the football, but I thought that was a better peanut punch than it was bad play by Hurts. I mean, that was a really nice peanut punch by Edger and Cooper.
Actually, I never even brought that up. There were more other things. There were more things in the game worse than that.
Yeah, that's where I think falls into the defensive game. West Philly says, when they increased the volume of Allen, he led the league in turnovers. Well, he doesn't have anybody there, dude. West Philly says they consistently win. They do. That's fair. John says the most 3 and outs in the league versus the Lions offense. Yeah. Don't be mad at John. This is just the offense, though, John.
It is.
You're an Eagle fan and we're winning, so you can't be mad at the offense.
I didn't say you. I never said no. John said that. I never said you can't be mad at it.
No, I mean,
you can't be frustrated.
I didn't mean to come at you. I know you took that personally, but I really didn't mean it personally. I was more just
I took it personally for 5 seconds.
It felt like I was talking to a fucking wall. I'm like, did I not watch this offense just suck ass?
Hey.
Did I not just watch that? I did.
Hey,
I know I did.
Zander, I took it 5 seconds personally, and then listen, I got what you're talking about here, but listen, dude.
Well, you know what we needed?
You are expecting.
You know what we needed? We needed a post-game show with some energy. With some fire. This thing's been a snooze fest. Nick said, HP draw. No rhythm. What's that?
At least it's been genuine.
Oh, yeah, it always is. There's no rhythm to the play call. Super Bowl MVP outplayed Mahomes, but Jalen is the limitation. Well, the inconsistency is tough to deny, Nick, but I do agree with you that there's more in the tank there. West Philly, he had 3,822 and 23. Sills is a hater. Don't blame Sills for the ineptness of the offense.
No shit, man. Hey, listen, you're blaming me and calling me a hater. Hey, congratulations tonight. Nice win, I guess.
Yeah. Ramir says, you want to know something? We ain't blame Shane. Why? Because Hurts was the best under him, and he was here more than 1 year. Everybody else won and out. It's true, Ramir. He did have 2 years.
Year and a half.
Romeo Talon says, this was the worst fourth quarter execution ever. It really looked like they tried to throw the game. I agree. It almost felt like that gambling shit came into play. Yeah, you saw a couple more pitchers get indicted this week. You see that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
For $7,000. I'm like, you guys
get this on pitches.
I know. There's a video floating around of the one pitcher. He struck the dude out. And he goes, fuck.
Oh, my God.
So funny, all right, here you go. A couple more. I'll let you go. Penn says, did the Eagles have the best linebacking core in the NFL?
Maybe.
Well, I tell you what, dude. Nakobe Dean's the guy.
Yeah, you know what?
God, I know you got a bright future. I know you got a lot of upside. I'll see you in 26.
Well, hold on here. Let me say something else too, because I got to give love to somebody. Let's give love to those 2 D tackles that allow those backers to play that freely too. Okay, Zander, if you don't have good defensive tackles in front of them dudes, you're getting blown off the ball.
I thought Jalen Carter was great tonight, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was all over the place.
Yeah, he
was putting pressure. You know what? He's gotten really good. He's gotten so good
batting passes, getting his hands up. getting his hands up.
Perfect timing. John says it's always an opportunity. The quarterback just isn't good. Well, you're going to have a lot of these people. Texans backup quarterback looked better on third downs. And he doesn't have A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. I'll tell you that much. Patullo wants Saquon to get at least 1,000 with all these volume, 2 to 3 yard gains, and half of them ain't even going for positive yards. Yeah, it's a mess. I think this offense is a true mess. Andre says, I feel Zander's frustration. I refuse to believe that this offense can't be better and still win the big ones. Andre, thank you for summing it up a little bit better than I was able to. And
like I said, though, there's your problem. You're assuming it's going to get better. Nobody said that they shouldn't be striving to get better. But where's the metric? The Giant game? Okay, the Giant game. Okay, I don't see it. I just don't see it, dude. Yeah, Barkley's on pace.
Hopefully says this. So when Hurts trusts his guys in the 50-50, it's a problem. When did I say it was a problem, Roll Philly? If you listen to the fucking show, I was saying that we should have done more of that, Roll Philly. Not quarterback, not draws to Will Shipley. Listen to the fucking show if you're going to talk with a loud mouth, dude. Senor says, like JB would say, Eagles are pussified. Yes, they are. Give them hell, Z. Don't take no shit. I'm with you, brother. Opus says, Sills is going to be a demon this week with this soft-ass win. I know he is. That's why I was mad at him, because he's making me less. And I'm like, I can't wait for the Tuesday National Football Show when he unloads on this team.
Well, wait. I'm not saying that I thought your offense was good. I thought it was horseshit. I said it all night. Dude, but I've been saying it for 4 years. I've been saying it for 2 for sure. Your passing game stinks. Zander, accept it. Come on to the dark side. Your passing game stinks.
It should be better.
I got it. You can't take it, dude.
All right, so give me your final thought here. It's 1 a.m. I gotta talk. By the way, all you idiots who've been chirping at me all fucking night, I got an opened up panel. I dropped the link, and you guys can join and give me shit. Oh, wait. All the nerds and the keyboard warriors, none of you will join because you're all a bunch of fruitcakes. That's what you all are. All right? The invite's open for all of you. Sills, your final thoughts here.
Dude, that defense played their asses off tonight, man. Okay? And that shitty passing game made enough plays to win a ball game. Your coaches almost sabotaged your win. I thought it was the worst performance of the year by your team against the good foot. Listen, Green Bay's good. I shouldn't be that harsh. Okay? But, dude, I mean, that team ain't going. One thing, how about this? You win the game, Zander, but you know what you didn't do? You're not going to win the war because that team is not good enough to win a Super Bowl. You put an effort like that up, you get knocked out in the opening round. You better hope you get home field, or you may get knocked out in a wild card.
Tough for me to push back. I mean, look, what people are hanging their hats on right now is that we look good versus the New York Giants. They're 2-8.
And they just fired their coach.
Not a good thing to hang your hat on. All right, so it's good stuff, brother. I'll talk to you.
I'll see you tomorrow, bro.
All right, later, dude. Oh, sorry, I cut you off. Later, dude. All right, there's Big Sills. Good stuff here. Appreciate Big Sills joining in. Appreciate everybody for being here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button for us. All right, don't forget to hit that like button. Good show tonight. We needed some energy in here. I don't understand what these two knuckleheads are looking at. Offense sucks. This team's not good enough to go to the Super Bowl if they continue to play this inconsistently week in and week out. It's like 1 week the thing looks awesome. 1 week it sucks. I think Kevin Patullo blows. I don't think Jalen Hurts is having a great year right now. I understand he's got 1 interception, but not pushing the ball, not letting it go, inaccurate in his throws tonight. A.J. Brown is not happy camper. You know, you take 1 deep shot to DeVonta Smith and everybody thinks everything is solved. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's the truth. All right, Anton, you're next from the post-game show, Anton. I'll catch you next week, brother. All right, I'll catch your ass next week, bitch ass. Don't fucking tell me. You're sitting in Australia. Don't fucking tell me how to fucking act, Anton. Don't fucking tell me what to do. Chill. Fuck you. Don't tell me to chill. I'll chill when I want to chill. And that goes for everybody in here. Tell me how to fucking chill. Fuck that. Most people in here, the 99%ers, most people in here don't have the mindset to get the greatness in life. Most people don't have the mindset. And Anton, you certainly don't have it. All right? Greatness is hard. You think you just win Super Bowls by accepting a shoddy-ass offense every fucking week? You don't. You don't build a great business that way. You don't build a good football team that way. You don't do anything in life that is greatness that way. Nothing in life is built that way. It's the stupidest mentality I've ever heard. Zander, we won. Shut up. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that we won. Team looks like dog shit. Team looks like dog shit. Offense looks awful. You don't think they're in the locker room saying, we got to be better? Really? Dumbass comments. You get them more of these super chats. I get them all. Brian Fleming says, Chiriani will say he wanted to draw PI. That's exactly what he'll say. He's that stupid, Fleming. Khaled says, Frank Reich, we read that one. Lucius says, so we aren't going to call out the O-line? What do you mean? The O-line was fine tonight. Lucius, how good do we need the O-line to be every single play? You need 5 seconds every play? The O-line was fine tonight. There was a couple running plays that they weren't great. Maybe it would help if Kevin Petullo could do something different than an inside zone. Nazi Naz says, 3rd and long, 2nd and long. The Packers 0 sacks today. The run game's terrible. It's awful. Nazi says 0 sacks without Lane Johnson. 0 sacks is crazy. It's a great accomplishment, honestly. Fleming says you'll only see a real offense down 14 to Detroit. Opus, I got that one. Thank you, Opus. Eric, thank you, brother. Senor, thank you, my man. Andre, appreciate you, brother. I think I got them all. Walk Out says, you guys are great, but I want to hear Angelo Cataldi's take on this. My guess is he agrees with Sills. My guess is he's going to absolutely obliterate the coordinators. All right. Here's Joe High. What's up, Joe? Zander, the play calling sucks, but what is choking you up is the evidence piling up that Hurts is not a good. I've always been able to accept that. It's not his strength, but I certainly know he's capable of more than what is being produced right now. But let me finish your comment. That is why the offense looks like this. It's the hardest pill for fans to swallow. Joe, I appreciate the comment, Joe, but honestly, it's not a hard pill for me. I swallowed it in the Alabama bar at Innisfree in the middle of the evening when they pulled them at halftime and went to Tua because we had 18 passing yards at the half versus the University of Georgia. And then DeVonta Smith, the Eagles' own DeVonta Smith, caught the touchdown pass in overtime on 2nd and 26 after a 16-yard sack by Tua. So I know that Jalen's had these limitations. But I've also known that Jalen is capable of a lot more than this. And he always has been. Even with the limitations. Because I got news. Every quarterback has limitations. Every player has limitations. Every human being has limitations. But I appreciate your comment. I understand what you're trying to say. But that's really not what my holdup is. Maybe it is to some extent because I'm desiring something that's more consistent and it's not coming. Maybe that's where you're right, Joe. F. Hammond says, you need to show more emotions, Zander. I think you might be being facetious there. Bobby says, is it possible A.J. Brown? I got that one. Bobby, what's up, brother? This looked like the Baltimore game last year. I'd have to go back and Baltimore game. Not that we played good in that Baltimore game. That was when Cooper DeJean leveled. That was when Cooper DeJean leveled them last year. I think we won that game like 24. Oh, yeah. Hurts was 11-19, 118. Saquon, 23 carries for 107. At least A.J. Brown had 5 catches in that game. They don't even look at A.J. Brown anymore. It's like, who cares we have A.J. Brown, right? Yeah, well, A.J. Brown, we don't need to use that guy. Relax, Zander, we're winning. Who cares about A.J. Brown? Okay. Zander, he hates we're 7. Why would I hate that, Aishan? Do you think you get to another Super Bowl by just with that mentality? Aishan, do you honestly believe that greatness holds the mentality that you have? That is what I call loser mentality. That's for the 99ers, okay? That's for the 99ers who don't aspire for anything more, who don't try and achieve anything great. That's what that mentality is. We're number 1. It's week 10. We're number 1 in the East and we won. Who cares, Zander? Shut up. You don't see these problems. So, Big Z, you don't think we can win a Super Bowl? Not playing like this. I certainly think we're capable of winning a Super Bowl. We all watched it in February. I think the team has it in them. That's part of the frustration. GP, if we sucked Why would we even get mad? If we sucked, why would we care? We're capable of more. When you know you're capable of more, you aspire to get there. I mean, shit, all of you guys who are mad at me, your favorite fucking quarterback tells you every time at the podium. Every time he tells you. It's a standard. And you don't play up to it. You aspire to get there every week. Dumbasses like M. Reyes live in the world where they don't give a shit. It's a bad mentality in life. I've never held it in anything. I certainly don't hold it in my fandom of the Eagles, and I'm not gonna because some of you are crying in my chat box. I don't give a rat's ass. Alexander Harris says, I feel what you were saying on the offense earlier. No reason we can't move the ball. Yeah, and then John goes, what do you want, 40 points? I'm like, dude, where did you get 40 fucking points? How about more than 10? How about a better half of football? How about somewhat of a competence level? How about somewhat of a creativity? How about designing a play for A.J. Brown? But no, we go to, what do you want, 40 points? Yeah, because that's what I said, right? Gaslighting bullshit. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of these old fucking boomers. It reminds me of these old boomers, all right, who ruined this. And I'm going to go political, but I'm not going to give political takes. It reminds me of all the old fucking boomers, right, who ruined this fucking country. And then when a young person who can't buy a house, who can't get ahead in life, and they bitch about the state of the country, and all the old idiots are like, oh, shut up. You didn't have it hard. You ruined the fucking country, you dumbasses. All your fucking dumb politics. All you idiots ruined it. Now you're going to tell me to sit down and shut up? Fuck you. Fuck you. That's what it reminds me of. Completely reminds me of that. Lions aren't touching 40 in this defense, but I can see this offense with a big goose egg. I don't think they're touching 40 either, but this offense is going to have to be better next week. Christopher says this offense was legit shit. Phillips is a beast. Phillips is absolutely a beast. I agree with that. Definitely the biggest positive. Definitely the biggest positive. Keith says, easy out. Keith, I'm fine. Thank you. He's drunk. Tree Mouse, I haven't had a drink of alcohol since my brother's wedding in 2022. Sit down and shut up, dickhead. I'm drunk. Sound like you're drunk. Jair says, my goal is to dominate, yet they're C students. They don't give a shit. They don't aspire for anything. They let life happen to them. I've never related to anybody on that at every level of my life. It's not about to happen now because there's people crying in the chat that we won the game, so I should shut up. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Curtis says, Xander, everything on our team is Super Bowl capable except this KP Jalen combo. It's a dumpster fire. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Big Mike, Just Mike says, sounds like you need some bourbon. Yeah, it might suit me well. All right. Please get my $5. Well, I didn't see it. I thought I got them. Well, where the hell is it? Let me find this thing. I got it. Brian says, the lighting has J-Mac looking like the baby in the sun from the Teletubbies. Yeah, J-Mac, Johnny Mac was like clear, at some point today. The baby in the sun from the Teletubbies. Let me look that up. Baby in the sun, Teletubbies. It's not coming up. Baby, son. Stupid ass. Oh my God. I know what you're talking about now. It did make him look like that a little bit. Yeah, he can't do it from his main studio tonight because his wife is in bed. All right. Look at Red. Oh, y'all beat J-Mac, Ray. Shut up. Marquise says, Xander, please stop letting Sills spoon. Marquise, I don't give a shit that somebody makes sports commentary and it doesn't align with what you want to hear about your favorite team, so you think he's a – I really don't give a shit, Marquise. That is a problem that you can solve on your own time, all right? I don't give a rat's ass. Mike says, Xander, yeah, we are favored. Well, that's a Detroit line, my friend. That's a Detroit line. You get 3 points at home. That game's in Philadelphia. That's a Detroit line right there, all right? Randy says, what's this guy's problem? Is he off his medication? Randy, you would never understand, and I would never try and get you to understand. You stay where you are, my friend. You stay where you are. You don't aspire for nothing. Spike says, you base your life on Eagles football? Well, I mean, not really, Spike, but I also do cover it, Spike. It's the business I'm building, Spike. It's how I feed my family, Spike. It's how I do things, Spike. You sit on the fucking couch eating popcorn and drinking beer, Spike. I don't give a rat's ass, Spike. Easy says, I believe we can be unstoppable. Well, that's the goal. Yada says, cracking the F up. Let's go, Z. They don't know how. Yada, I'm telling you. Something I've learned, Yada, from doing this show. All right? Something I've learned from doing this show is all the idiots who comment and say anybody who has any criticism is not. None of them have ever even stepped foot in this city. None of them. And I proved it last week when I asked 5 of them where they were. None of them have ever been to Philly. They don't know how we think, and then they try and tell me how I should root for the Eagles, how I should do my show, how I should build my business, how I should think about the game of football. These people are the same people who can't tell their ass from a hole in the wall. They're stupid. They're stupid. Dunk the Funk. I love that name. What's up, bro? Hurts can be elite. They've been coaching him to play scared. I agree 100%. And it's stunting our offense. You could tell. He doesn't try and push the ball downfield. Doesn't try and do any of that. Doesn't try and do any of that. Marquise says, Xander, I'm Philly. Well, Marquise, somewhere along the line, you got soft, my friend. And then you get this name wrong. Put a disclaimer, only Philadelphia. That's not what I said. What I said is, if you're on the outside, don't tell me how to be a fan. Don't tell me how to root for the team. Don't tell me how to operate. You're certainly welcome to be here, and you're certainly welcome to root for the damn team. It's a sports ball team. We're not talking about anything consequential here. We're talking about fucking a bunch of dudes in tights throwing a ball around a field. Ron Fisher, what's up, Ron? Xander, bro, that was a great game. It was a great game for the defense. Not every game is the same. No shit. Green Bay played tough. They get paid to win too. Well, they played tough, but do you really think that offensive performance was acceptable, Ron? Really? Jordan Love was a pumpkin tonight. Jordan Love came out early. This guy says it's all for views and likes at the end of the day. Well, I'm building a business, dude. But no, it's not. I don't do a bit for likes. If I did, you know what I would do? I would glaze people like you all day, make a cute little video about how Jalen Hurts is the greatest quarterback in the world, how the Eagles are the greatest organization that ever existed, even though we have the least Super Bowls in our own fucking division, all right? And I would placate to all the idiots because that would do a lot better for my likes. Maybe think before you write a comment. If you have a brain in the head, maybe try and use it. Look at this dude. This is the exact type of dude. I'm fine. Go ahead out, my friend. Guess I'll find me a local channel. Thanks, dude. Good luck. All right, good. Goodbye, loser. Goodbye, dork. Zay, you're wanting a lot from this team. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. What do you mean I'm wanting a lot? Wanting a lot is wanting a little more than what you saw tonight. How many games? We've played 9 games. How many games do you think they've lived up to whatever your expectation is, Dave Sports Quest? If I want too much, which maybe I do, if I want too much, let's go off your barometer. Whatever it is you want, Dave. Whatever it is you want. How many of the 9 games have they lived up to it? How many of them? Seven of the 9. That's the most M-raised dumbass comment I've ever heard. Oh, we won. Two. I think 2 is fair. Zander is a crybaby. Is that the best you got, Tron? Really? You waited all this time to make a comment from your little anonymous burner account, and the best you could come up with is Zander is a crybaby. Oh, you got me good. Let me make sure I change my ways for Tron. You got me there, brother. Dumbass comment. Gatman says, don't let these people get to me. It's part of what I do. It's part of content. Doesn't get to me. Believe me, I'm asleep peacefully tonight. Whenever I get to bed, whenever that hour comes. And I'll be up early in the morning to do the same thing. Ishan says, just know your ass is wrong again. All right, Ishan. You clearly don't aspire for much more than the average in life. Can't relate. Again, I can't expect people like these to relate to me. Roll Philly, if you listen to a stitch of my content, you would know how often I explain how hard it is to win in the NFL. So, Roll Philly, you think this offense is living up to it? You think this offense is doing what they should be doing? Is that right, Roll Philly? Is that what you believe? I swear, half of you people don't even fucking think about what you actually think. The only thing you do is you respond to what we say if it doesn't sound like what you want to hear. Or you don't expect to hear that, and now you're mad. Do you even think about it, Roll Philly? Did you even fucking think about it? Is this team winning a Super Bowl playing like this? I think we have 7 weeks to figure out. Well, that's good for you. I own this business, and I got to do content every day. So I can't kick my feet up and say, hey, I'll talk to you guys in 7 weeks. I'll let you know if they improve. I'll be here each and every day. You know where to find me. I don't go anywhere. Akbar says, I'll see you on the float in February. Akbar, I love it. I know you'll be there. You proved that to me last year. That's the other thing, Akbar. All these idiots bitching at me. I saw one guy, if we win this year, I don't want to see Zander at the parade. I don't want to. Bitch, I'll have a fat ass float at the parade where all the people of JAKIB Nation will be gathered. You'll be watching our coverage from your couch in some other state. In Mississippi or some bullshit. HKP, Jalen was terrible. The new Jalen was a star. Agreed. It's only week 10. Defense is elite. I trust Jalen to have it when needed, but a terrible performance. Well, I don't know why you trust him to have it when needed, because HKP, I do at times, but let's also look at the full picture. Way more than half the year, shitty offense this year. Last year in the playoffs, I know people love talking about the Super Bowl and the NFC title game. I do too. The first 2 playoff games, Jalen was trash. He wasn't good versus the Rams, and he wasn't good versus the Packers. I think he had like 90 net yards versus the Rams last year. We won those 2 games because of Saquon Barkley. So I have seen a pretty good amount of sample size here to say, if we don't get some shit working better, figure it out more, we're going to have an issue. The year before, we got bounced in round 1. That game was on the road in Tampa. Jody, thanks for the $2, bro. I appreciate it. Look at Randy. Look, this guy's whole comment can be explained by he's a Cowboy fan. I'm a Cowboy fan. I wish I was 7-2 right now. Why is this guy crying like a girl? That's because you're a Cowboy fan. You don't fucking know greatness if it smacked you on the top of your fucking dome. You wouldn't know it if it hit you in the face, if it whacked you like a ton of bricks. You wouldn't know it, so don't try and pretend you would. The play calling sucks. I don't know how to say your name. Chintz856. The play calling stunk. But if you say that to John, he says, oh, you're crazy. It's all the quarterback. Look, I'm not saying the quarterback doesn't deserve any blame, but the play calling blows. The guy's off his rocker. He has no idea what he's doing. He's a first-year play caller, and you can see it every time he calls a play in a high-pressure moment. If we didn't have A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, who can complete a big pass here and there, this offense would be even more putrid. Imagine if we didn't have A.J. Brown, who wins most of his 50-50 balls. Can you even imagine, Chintz? Play calling blows. It blows. Fly High. Dog acting like an upset toddler. Is that the best you got, Fly High? Really? Is that what you got? I'm acting like a toddler? Another dude who has no idea what it means to pursue greatness in anything in life. Sit down, kick your feet up, grab yourself a drink, and keep watching. Keep commenting too. All right, links in the chat for anybody that wants to join. All the haters, all the suckers, the link is right there if you want to come and say it to my face on the air. Xander, why does it take till the last play to throw A.J. Brown a one-on-one ball? I'm convinced that might be the only reason he went for it on 4th down, is to get A.J. Brown a ball, because he knew that that was an egregious game plan to throw the ball twice to A.J. Brown. But apparently expecting anything more than that. Ray says, cheer up. Ray, shut your ass up. Tell me what to do. AJ's unguardable. I don't understand why they're not going to him. It's disingenuous. Yeah, they don't. It almost feels like it's a grudge at this point. It almost feels like it's intentional. That's what it feels like to me. The dude's running right across the middle. It's AJ Brown. I don't know. I'm not the quarterback of the Eagles, but it feels like I'd be looking for that guy every damn play. Let's get to some people here. Let's go to Joe Whip first. Joe, coming to you, my friend. I got you. There it is. What's going on, Joe? How you doing, brother?
Yeah. You okay, Zander?
I'm good, Joe. I've never been better.
Oh my God. So I'm a little delirious. It's what, 1:30 in the morning? Jesus. Anyway.
You're already 1:30?
Yeah. It's like you might as well just keep going till 8, Zander.
We always say this at the night games. All right. Well, what'd you see today?
Well, the defense is doing pretty much what I figured they'd do by now. They're getting better and better and better. I think the defense will be really as good as last year by the end of the year. I think I love what I saw from Phillips.
Yeah, he's good, man.
I thought Nolan Smith played well.
And John was wrong about him playing the run. He can play the run, clearly.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Now,
yeah.
Jahad Campbell can't set an edge to save his life. He's not an edge player. He's a linebacker. So, I was kind of disappointed in him. I don't think he's.
Yeah, but I think that's an unfair expectation on the kid. I think someone put out a stat. If him playing edge, he'd be like one of the smallest edge rushers since like 1950 or something. I'm like,
Yeah,
he's
he's
not an edge.
No, he's not an edge.
Yeah, he's a lineman.
Yeah, that's so. So I love the defense. The offense, I don't know what the hell's going on. Patullo is. I hope they didn't throw that ball at the end of the fourth down at the end of the game just to placate AJ Brown. I hope that
didn't it kind of feel like that though.
It sure looked like it. Now they've done it often enough that the Packers were ready for it. You know, they were ready for it. So I get the fact that I saw Sirianni saying, you know, I trust my guys, and even AJ was interviewed in the locker room. And they asked him about it, and he said, well, you know, did you appreciate the effort for the pass? And he says, I don't know if I basically said, I don't think I would have done that. You know, he just punt the ball. You know, Sirianni was talking about, well, field goal. You know, field goal, you punt the ball. You kick it down to the 10-yard line. They have no timeouts. They have 20-some seconds left by the time they punt the ball. What are they going to do with it with no wide receivers? I mean, I was mystified. You know, the offense, I don't know what's going on. I think the owner has to talk to Sirianni and say, look, Nick, you got to use your brain a little bit. At the end of that game, that was terrible. That was if they would have lost that game or tied that game, holy shit. Your mic's off, Zander.
Nick's normally pretty good at that too. You know, he normally handles that pretty well.
Yeah, I know, but that was dumb. No one could. They were the announcers were shocked. I mean, I thought, okay, they're going to try to draw them off sides.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then when they
Troy was like, what are they doing? Doesn't even make sense.
That was probably, I'm 67 years old, Zander. That was probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen an Eagles coach ever do. And I've seen some dumb
that
shit.
Can't be true. That can't be true.
I've seen some dumb shit.
That can't be true.
Yeah, that was, oh my God, that was terrible.
Joe, does this team feel like a Super Bowl team to you?
You know, they seem like they remind me of last year's team. We were arguing.
Don't remind me of last year's team.
Well, no, you're thinking about the end of the year. We had all those games for the offense, like the Carolina game, and they almost blew the Jacksonville game and the Baltimore game, where it's like pulling teeth. But the defense got better and better and better and better, and the offense kind of figured it out at the end. They'd have like the Pittsburgh game last year. They'd have like little games here and there. But the difference between this year and last year is Kellen Moore knew how to call plays, and Patullo doesn't. I mean, they get 7 yards on a run on first down, and then he throws twice. He did that 2 or 3 times during this game. He got pass happy when it's like 2 and 2nd and 3. They should run the ball. I mean, he just makes the same mistakes, and those inside zone running plays where Barkley was getting killed because they were missing blocks.
All right, what do you think the biggest problem is? Do you think it's Hurts? Do you think it's Patullo? Like, what do you think it is?
I think the biggest problem is the structure of the offense. I think it's a combination of the route running that the route designs.
They ask them to run the same fucking routes over and over again. They don't do anything.
And then Patullo's play calling. I mean, you had plays where, if you notice on some of those runs where Barkley got hit for a 3 or 4 yard loss, there was a gaping hole between the guard and the tackle, and the linebacker was shooting it every time. I have no idea why there was a gap like that. And so there's a lot of things going wrong, but I think it's mostly the design of the offense, and that goes back to Patullo and Sirianni. Yeah. I don't think it's Hurts. I mean, Hurts didn't play.
Some of it's got to be on the quarterback. I mean, he's the guy holding the ball every play,
Yeah, no, but he didn't look like he was comfortable throwing the ball.
No, he didn't. You know what it looked like? It changed to me tonight after the fumble. He was like a different quarterback because that first drive he was moving. They were moving the ball.
And they came out in the second half and they had a good drive too.
Yeah, that's right.
But then it just disappears for long stretches of time. He just didn't look comfortable throwing the ball most of the game. It was sort of like he had like 3 flak jackets on. He wasn't getting a lot of zip on the ball. most of the game. You saw the difference between Love and him. Love was zipping it, although
Love sometimes throws some wobblers too, though.
Oh,
I mean,
Love.
that one of the out on third down. I'm like, dude, that was not a good throw.
Well, Love was awful. That game set football back 70 years. I don't know what was worse, that game or the Raiders Broncos game on Thursday night. I mean, it was like Jesus. I mean, it was like they were throwing the old football, which was the size of a watermelon.
Yeah.
It was just like crazy.
All right, Joe, let me get through some of these people, brother. I appreciate you doing it, man, as always. And I'm sure you're a guy that I'll see at the parade float if it happens.
Oh, all the time, Xander. You kidding?
Sure.
I'll be there when it's 5 degrees. Let's go.
I know you will.
Okay.
You'll be there 5 a.m. again for me to set up. I'll be putting your 67-year-old ass to work, Joe.
I'm okay,
all right, brother. I appreciate you, Joe.
All right, take it easy.
Later, dude. There's Joe Webb joining me right here. All right, good stuff from Joe. Going to Chris 3K, underdog. You're after Chris 3K. What up, Chris? How you doing, my man?
What it do, Xander? You got me?
I got you, my man. Look good, sound good. What's going on with you? What'd you think of the game tonight?
Well, first things first. I guess I'll take a birthday win. I'll take that. It's my birthday today, so I take that as a gift.
Hey, brother, happy birthday! You know, my father told me when it was my birthday. It's another day in the week. Get back to work,
man. That's how I feel. But to get into kind of what we've seen, I mean, it goes back to I think the first time I was on with you this season. Exactly what I said. The highs being too high, the lows being too low, the inability to find the middle ground with the offense is anybody that is making this type of offensive performance seem acceptable is just at this point, you're just a loser. Like, period. Like, there's no way, given this type of talent that we have, it should ever be as bad. I said it already. And like for it to be sort of normalized where I hear, and I think that you're from Philly, and I'm on the other side of the country, so maybe you can help me with this. I don't know if the city of Philly has ever seen any one of their teams have a dynasty, but I'm like, if you know what it takes.
Flyers.
Yeah, but my point
is 80 fucking 3. I don't even know if anybody's alive anymore.
Yeah, but I say that to say, if you know anything about teams that win multiple championships, they don't just play like the standard of winning isn't enough. You play to dominate. Like, that's why you play. It's not good enough to just get by. And I think
professional athletes, dude. That's how these people think. Yeah.
And I think even the post that AJ had last year when he was talking about winning the Super Bowl doesn't satisfy him, it's dominate. I think that was taken out of context. It wasn't a selfish thing. I think what he was referring to is what we're seeing now, where it's like winning is cool, but you play to dominate. You don't just play to get by and say like, well, we won and that's okay and we're 7-2. Like, no, you're out here to dominate. There's a standard. And it's like, when you look at that personnel, we won a game scoring 10 points, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, that's unacceptable. So, defense is great, but defense is great. I mean,
that defense is something else, man. That defense is damn good.
Right now, I think Vic Fangio is the second most important person in the building behind Howie. I mean, he just is. Like, what he's able to do with that defense is nothing short of amazing. And he's the reason why, like, he's the sole reason why I think this team is a legit Super Bowl contender. Because we got Vic. And if you can play defense like that, Xander, I don't care what anybody's – if you can play – and let's not act like we haven't seen these good teams in the end. I mean, I know we got Detroit Sunday, but we've beaten the Rams, I think, 4 in a row? So, you know what I'm saying? I think
those games are close, man.
I know they are, but I'm just saying, when you got Vic, I guess you got a chance.
You do. I mean, look, the offense was pretty inept tonight. You won the game because of Vic. I mean, so you're right. You're always in it. Real quick, last question here. Where do you put the blame, or I don't know if you want to call it blame. What do you think of the offense percentage-wise? Are you Patullo, Hurts, Sirianni? How do you view it?
I'm going to go quarterback does obviously take a percentage of it, but I'm going to lean a little bit towards Sirianni and his philosophy, and I'll tell you why. I hear every week or often people say, well, if the Eagles had an elite top 5 quarterback, what would this offense look like? And I don't argue, you know what I'm saying? But I also counter that point. Xander, you went to Bama. And I don't know if you were there for the Mac Jones era. I don't know if that was before or after you.
Right after I left. Yeah.
I'm seeing this guy in San Francisco with Shanahan, a system guy. He's throwing for 300 a week. Do you think Shanahan with Jalen and his abilities, do you think Jalen would look pretty good with Shanahan? I'm
want me
pretty
to
sure
be
he
honest
would.
with you?
Yeah.
I think Shanahan would trade Jalen Hurts, and I think Sean McVay would do the same thing.
You think he would trade him?
Yes.
But I'm saying if he had to keep
Sean McVay had Jared Goff in the room and said, Now, I think Jared Goff's a fine quarterback. Those coaches want a specific style of quarterback. They want a timing, accurate thrower. It's not Jalen.
But here's one thing I will say. Those quarterbacks do have limitations, though. And those coaches are able to get around those. Yeah. And I said that because there's been this constant talk about Jalen's limitations. This is where I agree with you on the coaching staff. Those coaches get around those players' limitations. Mac Jones isn't elite, and neither is Brock Purdy. But those coaches get around those limitations because of what they do. We haven't been able to do that with Jalen. All I ever hear is, well, he's limited. And I'm like, every quarterback besides maybe Pat Mahomes is limited. Even Brady was limited.
Pat Mahomes is limited too, trust me.
Exactly. They all have limitations. So at what point does the coaching staff be like, we got to find a way? Steichen did it. He got Daniel Jones looking like an MVP. Daniel Jones isn't a world beater. So I don't want to hear that he has limitations. They all got limitations. That's why coaches are put in place that are supposed to be able to get around that and help the team live up to what they can be.
I agree. I just don't get some of the build of this team, but we'll see what happens. Appreciate you, Chris. Always good talking with you, my man. Stay safe out there. What is it, only like 10:40 out there right now for you?
Yeah, 10:40. I'm going to start the party celebration soon for the birthday. So
there you go. Nice.
Had to watch the game first.
Be safe, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, later, dude. Appreciate you. All right, good stuff from Chris 3K. Let's bring my boy Underdog up. Where is he at? There he is. Underdog, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. I'll go right to you. What'd you see tonight? Where's your head on this team?
Well, I'll say this. This is the Super Bowl contender. They'll raise your blood pressure on the way. But I wanted to see a difference-making defensive end paired up with Jalen Carter. I've been wanting to see a difference-making defensive end. We had Fletcher Cox is when we got back to our Jerome Brown line of defensive linemen in the middle. And the whole time I said, man, why couldn't we just have like a Trent Cole now while we got Fletcher Cox? And we just never did it. So now, like, just to see a good defensive end with somebody in the middle, so now you collapse the pocket and there's nowhere for the quarterback to roll out. That's the important. That's a 1-2 punch. Because of that by itself, the secondary is going to get a chance to gel. I think the defense is going to gel. I said it earlier in the chat. This defense is going to eat frozen cheese snacks tonight, and they did. They did. We played bitch ball. We played like you got some people have a mentality of, well, it could have been worse. And some people have a mentality that's it could have and should have been better. I think we've been eating ramen noodles and hamburger helpers so long that we forgot we have like lobster tails in the freezer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just store it away. I saw AJ.
You got an 8-ounce steak and you're opting for the ramens every week. Oh
yeah,
man.
We've been beaten down into this though. Like after a while, we kind of got used to this, and this is why I don't think a lot of these people watch other teams, because we just watched a full stress-free slate yesterday of teams that actually can throw a football. When we had Donovan McNabb, right, we wouldn't have put up with an offense like this, and he was throwing to James Thrash, Todd Pinkston. He was putting up 35, 36, 33, 100 yards a year easily. A lot of touchdown passes, and he ran too. And we had a three-headed backfield, with the running backs. People at this point aren't being honest with themselves, and they haven't been for a while. Listen, nobody's telling me that Tanner McKee would have came out there and played worse than this. Nobody's telling me Tanner McKee and Jalen Hurts and the head-up quarterback competition that Jalen Hurts wins that is never going to. 10 times out of 10, he's not winning that quarterback competition. This is the $50 million a year lie I'm talking about. What we're looking at is, and then people say, well, the running game, we can't get the passing game until we get the running game. That's nonsense. You can't get a running game. You know why you can't get the running game? And any offensive lineman will tell you, they much rather run block than pass protect. So if you're pass protecting and you're giving him 4.5 seconds, 5 seconds, sometimes to throw the ball, believe they're not having a problem moving people off the ball to run. That's their recess during the game. So my thing is, there's extra defenders. There's so many more green jerseys, green shirts around Saquon Barkley than he has blockers because they're not threatened by the pass attack. The problem is the pass attack. We keep trying to, like, take Tylenols and shit for a broken arm. It doesn't make sense. And then when people say another thing too, we got to stop this shit because this is an old lesson that's already been learned. This is not a style of quarterbacking. Just because you're missing some ingredients, that does not a recipe make. Okay? If I'm trying to make French toast, and the main thing of quarterbacking is being able to read the defense, anticipate, see what's about to develop before it develops, and then the development should be where you place the ball. That allows it to develop. The receiver meets the fucking ball.
Right.
If you're missing bread and you're sprinkling cinnamon and eggs, you didn't create a fucking recipe. You just don't have French toast.
Cauliflower toast, bro.
Yeah, it's not French toast. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have a fucking new ingredient or a recipe because you're missing an ingredient. We're lying to ourselves again. And to say every quarterback has limitations, like Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrows, they don't have limitations as far as knowing how to play the game at a professional level. They know how to read a defense. They know how to read it, first of all, for the team, pre-snap. Okay, this is what's happening. 52 is the mic or whatever the fuck. Okay, and then outside of that, once the ball is snapped, they're reading the defense for themselves. Did you see Matt Stafford manipulate the defense?
Dude, Matt
Look
Stafford,
him over with his eyes.
he is on
Throw the
one.
no-look pass.
Oh, man. He's on one right now, man.
That's next level. And that's next level from a professional level quarterback. That's about 3-4 levels ahead of where Jalen is. And Jalen, this is why I say this is a Super Bowl contender. Jalen performed, in my mind, that way he didn't have a good game, but he's a fucking gamer, and the team fights. They fucking fight. If you have a defense like that, like, they don't give up on Sirianni. Like, they fight. They're very competitive. They're hungry. They fight. I'm telling you, another quarterback, and you know who, Tanner McKee is never going to perform like that. That ball to DeVonta Smith, you got about a third of the end zone to work with without a defender there. About 6 to 7 of the 8ths over is where that ball should go. DeVonta gets in untouched. Untouched. A.J. Brown slicing across the middle. Tanner McKee throws that ball in his sleep. Quick. And for the people that don't understand the quarterback position, it's not about running. It's not a running style of quarterback. No, you're not going to reinvent the fucking game. We've already seen this and learned this lesson in the 90s. This is an old lesson. This is why I speak in absolutes this way, because these fans I make fun of, I used to be those people. I make fun of them because I was 9 years old. These people are too old for this nonsense. You're not going.
The game is changing though. Like these quarterbacks that you're talking about, there's so much fewer now than there was in the past, and the 90s and the early 2000s. All the quarterbacks coming out
we learned
all this way.
That same question was posed back in the 90s. It was posed in the 80s. This is the same thing. Some of these kids have not been talking to their fathers. I'm telling you, there's somewhere the bridge is fucked up from generation to the next generation. This lesson has been learned over and over and over again. Now, this is the thing. If you know, and this is requisite for the job, to play quarterback professionally, you need to be able to read the defense, process, and make anticipatory throws. That's not optional. That's not, well, either you can do this or you can run around. No, that's not fucking optional. You need to be able to do that. That's the bare fucking minimum requirement for the job. If you can do that and take off when the play breaks down, beautiful. But that's bonus. That's icing. You don't serve a whole cake pan full of fucking icing. That's not a quarterback. The number one job of a quarterback is to be able to read the field. That's not optional. That's not a style of quarterback thing. That's a requirement for your quarterback, whether he's mobile or not. And frankly, the best quarterbacks of all time weren't mobile, and they played during much more violent defenses. They couldn't slide out of fucking trouble. It wasn't none of that shit. Yo, whether you think it's Joe Montana, whether you just go off of pure talent and you think Dan Marino, or if you're going with accolades and everything and saying Tom Brady, these people weren't going to run around and kill you with their legs. You don't beat the blitz with your legs unless you absolutely have. You beat the blitz with your arm. You beat it with your head. You beat it with your vision because you know where it's coming from, first of all. Listen, Kelsey told us, he said there were times I turned around pre-snap and told Jalen where the pressure was coming from, and he still did not see it. This ain't to beat down Jalen Hurts. He is what he is. Frankly, I honestly don't want to talk about him no more. What I'm telling you is adequate quarterback play. And not only is this team a Super Bowl contender, this team should be the Super Bowl favorite. We shouldn't be winning these girl fights. It should not be that. And I'm going to tell you something else, too. I wish I could debate Johnny Mack live, face to face. I really wish I could. Because I'm telling you, Xander, and I wasn't comfortable saying it before, but now I am. I personally feel like, and if I'm wrong, I've been wrong before. I think he's a double agent. I think he's smarter and knows more football than what he's letting on. And I can't blame him. You have access that you don't want to give up. I understand that, but like, man, come on. You're not going to tell me I'm spoiled, because double talk is one of the signs. First, I'm spoiled if I want more than a ramen noodle pass game. I'm spoiled if I want more. And then it's, oh, well, nobody's happy with these games. So which the fuck side is it? That's double talk.
That was double talk tonight.
I'm not fucking spoiled because I want an all-star cast to perform better than 10 stinking points when I'm seeing wide open touchdowns yet again. And we didn't even get all 22 tape. These are just replays where you got yo, the one penalty almost didn't even count because the ball, like, where you throwing the ball to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? What the fuck? The man is right there. Like, yo, come the fuck on. Yo, I'm telling you, there's no way in hell. No way in hell. Tanner McKee misses those throws. Those throws are there on time and they're accurate. There's no way. Nobody's telling me they believe Tanner McKee doesn't perform better than this. And this ain't the first time we've seen one of these from Jalen. This stinky, dinky, poo offense. It's not the first time we've seen it. It's not. It's constipated as hell. It has no flow to it at all. The running game is suffering also because of it. And then we finally got a new toy. That's this defensive end to pair with the middle, the interior of the defensive line. The defense is going to be fine if we don't gas them the fuck out by leading the league in 3 and outs. For the little kids in the chat with the Jalen pajamas on, we lead the league in 3 and out. We lead the league in 3 and out.
That is such a bad stat, dude. That is such a bad stat.
And then it's, well, he only threw 1 interception. Fucking Tupac throws the ball just as much as Jalen Hurts. Where's an interception coming from? You don't throw the ball past 10 yards, and then once in a while you get a little sucker punch when they're like really sleeping on it because they're daring you to throw the ball all game long. And I know some people in the chat, panties in a fucking bunch. I don't care. It is what it is. I don't, and it ain't about hating Jalen. I don't know any of these fucking people. But frankly, if that was me out there performing like that, I would be upset with my own performance. AJ Brown didn't say anything. I swear it looked like DeVonta on the sideline. I was making the same motion with my hand as he was. So maybe that's why it feels like it to me. I swear he was saying, yo, all he had to do was throw it out like this way. Throw it to the fucking side. Yo, there's some tension there. There's tension in that locker room.
I agree.
And you know something? That tension is the only thing that makes sense to me as far as an explanation as of why Nick Sirianni, and it doesn't excuse it, why you called that bullshit play. Like, it was a dumb decision, first of all.
Yeah.
To even call the play and give up that field position. But like the tension, I think, is so thick. And AJ didn't even speak on it out there. But it's just known. They know the frustration. Nick Sirianni, didn't he coach wide receivers?
Yeah,
like they know they knew the frustration, and they just tried to sneak one to AJ so they could at least have something to say in the stats. Kind of like these fans try to hide behind certain stats when it's convenient. oh, well, AJ had 70 yards or whatever that play would have got him on top of the 13 he had. Like, I think that's why Nick Sirianni made that stupid decision. And like, what other explanation is like, what the fuck was that, Xander? You give up field position as if you've been like as if your offense did what it was supposed to do today, and you're up 17 points or something.
I know. You might be
I
right.
think it was just to appease somebody that you feel like you owe. They felt like they owed AJ because he behaved himself. He was a good boy, even though he only had 2 targets. They said, "I'll toss him a bone. Give me a break. If I'm AJ, yo, trade me."
Bone, man.
Now.
That was a half chewed bone, man. You sent over from the dog next door. That wasn't even a good bone. All right, brother. I got to get at it. I got a bunch more people I got to get to, but you're spitting fire tonight. We'll see.
It's unreal.
The defense is special. I think you're right about that. That's for sure.
Yep. Did you see my last email I sent you?
What about the music?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. Did I not respond? I got to respond. I'll respond to you.
Yeah, I sent another one.
Oh, wait.
Tell me what you think.
All right, I'll look. I didn't get it. I saw your one that you said you were going to send something. Yeah, I didn't get a link or anything.
Okay, all right.
Send it when you get off there, right? I'll look at it.
All right, yeah, maybe you saw the last one.
I'll respond to the one I got. November 7th.
Yo, this is a contender, Xander. All we need is adequate quarterback play, and we can't get it consistently from the bench. I'm telling you. Just because he's on the bench don't mean he's a bench quarterback. This is politics.
It's just not going to happen.
This is politics. Oh, a couple more stinkers like this with some L's attached to him, and that seat to get hotter. Jeffrey Lurie did not look pleased in that box. And I know he's addicted to throwing the ball. He's addicted to throwing.
I know he is.
Let some more performances like this pair up with some L's, and that seat to get hotter.
We don't see
rightfully.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, Underdog. Thank you, man.
All right.
Later, dude. There's my boy, Underdog, man. I love listening to him. That dude articulates his thoughts really well. I think he's got great talent. Good stuff, y'all. Let's go to Ride on the Bench. Clary Void next. Then I'll go to Houston, HKP. Let's go to 1 second here. Let me go to Ride on the Bench. What's going on, my man? How you doing on this Tuesday morning now at 2 in the morning? How you doing?
Like I am always 6 feet above, man.
There you go.
Is, right?
All right, what'd you see tonight? What side of the aisle are you on?
I just have a question. I need to know, is this the coaching staff or is it the quarterback? Because at some point, guys, and everyone tells me that, like, you know, Jalen Hurts is limited, and I get that, and I think every Eagle fan accepts it. And, you know, we heard Underdog say that he solely believes that it's Jalen Hurts' ineptitude that is causing this offense to be sputtering the way it does every week, like it always does. The problem is I've seen him with other coaching staffs perform much better. And I'm not looking for him to drop back, throw it 30 times, and be a Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Allen. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, I think it's fair. Yeah.
I don't think anybody really cares about that. We just want, like, a consistent level of play that we're not getting. And I can't tell if it's the coaching staff and the way that they try to weasel their way through victories, or if it's truly is the ineptitude of the quarterback. Because the problem is we have a conservative play caller and a conservative philosophy, and then we have a limited quarterback skill set, and then every time we open up the playbook, at least in big games, he ends up performing well, or at least performs better than what he does week to week in the regular season. So this is the only problem that I have with this. And for anybody who tells me that, yeah, we have a Super Bowl offense because of the talent. Yes, we do. And they look at other quarterbacks who are pocket passers and all that jazz. All of them are also paired up with great coaching staffs and great play callers. I don't know if Jalen Hurts has been paired with that consistently year after year after year. So in a sense, yeah, I could blame Jalen Hurts for being an inept thrower of the ball and being a pure pocket passer. But you know what? In today's NFL, nobody is a pure pocket passer other than Matt Stafford and Jared Goff. And Jalen Hurts has won just as much as those guys year after year. So I don't know if it's the coaching staff. I don't know if it's the quarterback. If it is the quarterback, then you know what? This offseason, everybody's going to have a tough conversation. And maybe, just maybe, it's not A.J. Brown that leaves the building, but it should be Jalen Hurts. That's what the conversation should be. But everyone also tells me you can't bench Jalen Hurts because you're not a Super Bowl team without him. So which is it? Somebody's got to tell me. I know Underdog thinks you put Tanner McGee back there, you're going to have a Super Bowl championship team, and he's consistent in that, so I can appreciate that perspective. But everyone who tells me this quarterback is limited also tells me that you can't bench him or else we're not a Super Bowl team. So you got to make up your mind. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I agree. I mean, I think the tough part about that conversation is, like, if you do have a different style, forget Tanner McKee for a second.
Yeah,
if you do have a different style of quarterback, like, does the offense have these spurt? Like, before Underdog, I had Chris 3K. He brings up all the time. The lows are so fucking low.
That they are.
Do you have those type of lows if you have somebody that can consistently get the football to your best playmakers, who are A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith? I don't know the answer to that. Like, that might be where Underdog's probably right. I know people don't want to hear that.
I agree with you. And that's
probably right.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I think we also just have to accept what Jalen is. He's not a guy who's going to throw on script in rhythm. That's not his style of play.
I agree. It's not.
And that's not where he makes his bread and butter. That's where a lot of these guys don't make their bread and butter. But also at the same time, we also put this guy in a box with the play calling that we don't do with the other guys that get put in the lineup. Like, last year when we saw Kenny Pickett and Tanner McGee throw the ball, I felt like they just opened up the playbook a little bit more. And maybe it's because they believe that they can do more with those other quarterbacks. And you know what? That's an indictment on the quarterback. And at that point, move on from the fucking guy. But I keep seeing him be put in a box as a player. But then when you open the box in games where you're throwing caution to the wind, he ends up playing really well. So I think he wants the opportunity to go out and throw the ball down the field at a consistent level. And yes, maybe he can't do it. Maybe he can't. And you know what? I'd rather know that answer than have this every fucking week. Genuinely. Because at least I know then it's not my coach. It's not the coaching staff. It's the player. And that's an easy fix. But if it's the fucking coaching staff, then, then we have to address that then too. So I just don't know the answer to that question, because every year we see the same thing under the Sirianni offense and the Jalen Hurts era, but it's also paired with the best stretch of winning we've ever seen in franchise history as a fan base. And everyone likes to point to like the Andy Reid and the McNabb era. We didn't win shit back then. We didn't win dick.
Yeah, well,
we're winning now.
Again, I think in that conversation, that's where you got to include the whole roster. I mean, this roster,
that's
roster. And that's why I'm pissed at John, because John's like, you can't expect more. I'm like, dude, this is the best fucking roster that's ever been assembled in this city.
Yep, 100%.
It is. Like, to not have expectations for it, in my opinion, would be stupid.
I agree. This coaching staff has to be better. The players have to. Jalen Hurts has to be fucking better, because I know for damn sure the rest of the roster is up. It's playing up to snuff. It just is. You know what I'm saying? Like, something's got to get. It's either this fucking coaching staff, whether it's Kevin Patullo and Sirianni, or it's Jalen Hurts. And you know what? Howie Roseman has to take some blame on this fucking thing too, because we see waves like this every fucking.
Though about the quarterbacks last year when McKee did come in and when Pickett did come in, and they did have a different playbook and a different approach, then that answers your question.
Right. So if that's the case, then why are we talking about trading all the other guys outside of the quarterback then?
Well, because I think it's like Underdog. I mean, there's some politics involved.
You could say it's political.
It's not as simple as,
I get you.
Right.
I get you. But then at some point, then build an offense that's fucking consistent with the skill set. I know this offense is not consistent with the guy's skill set. You can tell me all you want that the Sirianni offense has been the same from 21 to 24. It just hasn't, though. With Shane Steichen's making Daniel Jones a fucking MVP quarterback. You can't tell me that coaching has nothing to do with any of that.
I agree with that.
Look, Jalen Hurts might be a fucking limited quarterback, and he is. We all know that. I know he's not this fucking awful every week. There's no way. He can't be playing at this level. Can't be a Super Bowl MVP. Can't have the resume that he has had throughout his whole damn career and be this inept. It's impossible. It makes zero sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
How many games of the 9 so far do you think the offense has lived up to whatever whatever your expectation is?
This year? I don't know. 2 or 3, maybe? And again, isn't it also associated with, hey, the play calling was better in this game? They opened the playbook a little bit more. They added a little nuance here and there.
The playbook was open today. They were under center.
And again, look, I also don't want to take away from what the Green Bay Packers defense is, because it's an elite unit. It's an elite unit. But the ineptitude of play calling tonight was awful. The quarterback play was awful. Everything about this offense was awful. And what makes it more egregious is that it was coming off a fucking bye. It was coming off a bye. Yeah. You had 2 weeks on a Monday night in Green Bay. Again, you got the win. Whoop-de-doo. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, you're the number 1 seed, but you know what? This is my last point, and I'll let you kind of get other people here. I said this to you at the Denver Broncos game. After that game, I said that felt more like 23 than any other game, and the biggest test will be against the Detroit Lions, because if you get blown out by that team, that might be the very game that just breaks this fucking team. You cannot get blown out by Detroit. You cannot, because they want that. I know Detroit.
If they play like they did tonight, who wins the game?
Say again?
If they play like they did tonight, who wins that game?
Depends who's play calling for Detroit. If Campbell calls the game the way he did against Washington, Detroit will win. You know? But again, it's not like Detroit can't be had either. They're not the same unit as they were the last couple of years. So I'm, as an Eagle fan, nor Eagle fan should be afraid of the Lions. However, will this coaching staff coach like bitches against the Lions? Because I know they're going to fucking be aggressive. This coaching staff has to be more aggressive. And I know the quarterback doesn't want to play like this. I don't think he's conservative in his play. I think he wants to fucking chuck it down the field. You could check by his hot routes. All he wants to do is throw it down the field against the fucking blitz. You're telling me he doesn't want to fuck? I mean, this conservative offense, I don't think it's a reflection on the quarterback's mindset. I think he wants to fucking throw it. I think the coaching staff is saying, we don't think you can. And then shame on them. Let him prove that he can. Let him prove week to week that he fucking sucks, and let it be like 23 then. Because then at least you know the fucking answer. That's and then true. You can make a move, and then you can
where I agree is I'd always prefer to know the truth. You know,
I want to know the truth. I just want to know the truth. If the guy stinks, then you know what? You have a guy behind him who everybody believes can step in and make the throws and lead this team to the promised land. And if you don't, and if it's not his fault, then you look at the coaching staff, and that's an easy replacement to make, because Philadelphia is not shy of doing that. They've done it before. They could do it again. They've done it with quarterbacks. They've done it with this is also the most unorthodox fucking organization I've ever seen. They do things differently. So every critique of the quarterback and the head coach, it may be falling on deaf ears, because they may just be game planning this whole fucking thing differently. I don't know the answer to this team. All I know is that we're 7-2 and it's great, but this offense fucking stinks.
It does.
This offense is fucking awful. And this defense, my Lord. Thank God for Vic Fangio. This
offense is painful.
It's painful to watch, dude. And again, and last year, after that Ravens game, I was pounding the table saying, you know what? Listen, we're winning fucking games. It's all good, because you know what? This team has a chance for the Super Bowl. But at some point, something's got to give, man. Like, something's just got to give. Like, we can't have this type of performance week after week. AJ Brown had 2 fucking targets. I live in my mama's basement,
I
bro.
He got 2 more targets than I do. How that happens? He got 2 more targets than I do, and I live in my mama's basement in Long Island. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on there? I have there is something off there. And again, I think that might be a Jalen Hurts problem, where he's not even looking at AJ Brown to throw the fucking ball. But at the same time, they're not calling plays to get the fucking guy open. They're not designing anything to get the guy open. He's just that great, and he's getting open. And Jalen Hurts not even throwing him the fucking ball. So I don't know what to make this offense, because it is 7-2, and we are the 1 seed. And I will be damned if anybody in the NFC, outside of maybe the Rams, can go on the road in Lincoln Financial Field in a fucking playoff game and win. I don't think anybody in the NFC can do it. And I think that's what the Eagles organization, this whole roster, is banking on. That if you get the 1 seed, ain't nobody beating them in Philly. It's not happening. They might be right. And that defense, Underdog had a good point about them too. That defense
is special. They're special. That's a special unit.
Yeah, they're going to be
good. That's a special fucking unit.
All right, brother. Good take. Look, I think your frustrations are fair. I really do. I think they're fair, completely 100%. I agree with a lot of them. All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'll talk to you next week. All right.
All right, brother. Be safe.
Later, dude. There's Ryan on the bench. Good stuff there, man. Great stuff there. Let's go to Clary, boy. Appreciate it. Everybody's got a lot of energy and a lot of passion. All the people who are shitting on me, though, I don't see any of them. None of them are in my green room. Oh, as predicted. Let's go to Clary Void. Joins me right now here on the Post Game Show. What's up, brother? How you doing?
It's another night, man. You know, I mean, at least I'm getting paid now. That's all that counts, right?
What do you mean?
No, the government. It's opening up and getting paid finally. I'm not
Oh,
working.
that's right. You're a government worker.
Yeah, I was working for free, dude.
I'm happy that they opened back up for you.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, at least
Month
there's
and a half,
somebody
dude.
can
That
be
shit
happy
gets
now.
old quick. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Anyways,
what'd you make of this fucking game? Are you on the boat of Xander's a loony and we won? Who gives a shit? Or are you like this team is not that good? What do you think?
man, the defense looks damn good. Let's get on with the good stuff. The defense, man, looks good, man, and they might be damn good by the end of the season, like even better than last year's, which was the best defense we've had probably ever. Now the offense, man, this shit's worse than 23. This looks like that 7-game stretch where we were just straight buns, bro. That's what it looks like.
Why does this offense suck so fucking bad, man? And everybody tells me
Man,
I hate
Tebow Hurts, dude.
every day because everybody in the chat's like, Xander, you're a hater. I'm like, I'm not a hater. The offense just sucks. It does.
Dude, it's Tebow Hurts, man. That guy has one read. If it's not there, dude, our offensive line, they pass protect for like 10 seconds.
I know.
All
And
right.
people are like, it's the offensive line.
Well, so our offensive line is an issue in the run game because they're using the same run plays they've used since Nick Sirianni's been there. And then they started realizing, oh, we shoot the gaps where the pools are. We get them behind the line. That's what they're doing. But like, man, man, we got AJ Brown. I wouldn't know. You would think that we have the bums that we had with McNabb.
Yeah.
Like
James Thrash. That's what it looks like.
Dude, we have a $250 million offense that is run down. It's broke, and our defense, cheap defense, is playing. I think the defense is going to be unreal. Dude, man, like people will be like, oh, it can't be Hurts. All right. Man, he's had like 8 fucking coaches. I'm sorry
You ready
for the
for
curse
this?
word.
The defense is no, you can curse.
Yeah, dude. He's had 8 coaches. He's had like 8 coaches.
The defense is the second cheapest defense in the National Football League. The offense is the most expensive offense in the National Football League. I can't believe we're up here talking about if this defense keeps this up, we're going to win the Super Bowl. And the offense is just being drug along by this defense. It makes no sense.
Yeah, dude. We have like the biggest underperformer and the biggest overperformer on each side. You can't make it up, man. Like, dude, Jalen just don't got it, man. Dude, he's a winner. When the time counts, like
you can't take that.
He'll do some crazy stuff, man. But overall, man, his highs are real high and the lows are real low. I mean, look at our offense, man. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it really is.
It's pathetic. We've had 1 or 2 games where, like, man, unless you want to count that 1 half that we had against the Rams, what else have we got, man? Our offense has just been kind of anemic at best.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, that's why I've been so fucking angry on the shows because this offense needs to be better than this. I know it should be better than this, and I know people are wrong when they tell me it shouldn't, and they shouldn't care. I'm like, there's no way.
Hurts runs probably the best RPOs. We don't run them like we used to. Not when Steichen was here, for damn sure. You know what I mean? Because like with that, he was reading the edge or reading a linebacker corner, and then he would either pass or run. Like it was a quick read kind of thing. He has no quick reads. I think that might be some of the biggest downfalls on this offense. We're expecting him to be, Phillip Rivers, and he's Tim Tebow.
I don't like hearing that. All right, brother. Good stuff, man. I appreciate you joining in. I think you were on fire. Everybody's been on fire tonight. A lot of good segments from the people tonight. Any parting words for me?
Man, there's always next week, right?
That's a great parting word. And we got at this point we're down to 5 days. So that thing's already coming up. I'm looking forward to it. All right, dude. Thank you, man. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
See you, dude. Later.
There's Clary boy. Let's go to Houston. Houston next and HKP. HKP, you got a camera? If you do, let me know. Houston, what's up, my guy?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing damn good. How are you doing?
I almost vomited in my mouth watching this damn game. I can't even believe it. Forget the W. I can't believe so many people in your.
All right, so you're seeing it like it's a little bit more like I am. I don't want to speak for you.
No,
okay.
Speak for me.
Okay.
I exactly am. How can you have this offense and say, oh, they got 10 points? we're good. We have Saquon Barkley, top 5 running back, let's just say. Dallas Goedert, top 5 tight end. A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. When I go back and watch some of Jalen's other games, like years prior, it's almost like he had better pocket presence and throwing. So I'm like, okay, he can do it. But somewhere along the line, it's like they stop whatever they're doing. Like, okay, we're going to do this because this works. I'm tired of people serving me a shit sandwich and say, don't worry about the brown stains and stuff. It's peanut butter and jelly. No, it's not.
I agree.
I'm listening to you every week. All you're saying
Where
is
do you think the problem is?
I'm starting to lean more towards Jalen, but I'm still on the Patullo thing. So I'm like, we're not scheming A.J. Brown open. We're just like, hey, run deep and we'll throw you a 50-50 ball. We're not putting him in the slot. Shit, give him a handoff or something. Get the ball in his hands. Remember A.J.'s first game in Detroit when he came? He had like 11 receptions for 130 yards. You can't, like, where are the slants? Where's the movement? Where's the scheming to get these people open? Like, we can't just rely on them. Oh, they're good. We'll put them in any position. Like, Xander, I'm really confused about this team. I love being 7-2, but us saying that we want the offense to be better, we're not saying, hey, have Patrick Mahomes numbers or, like we said, what's his name, Herbert numbers and things like that. Jalen's not that's not the quarterback that he is. He's a winner. He makes plays when it's time. But when we have games like this, we should be allowed to question it, especially when it becomes a thing to where, like, again, we have A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon Barkley. We could only get 10 points. Now, be it. Some games you're going to have 10 points, but it's the way that it's looking. It looks lethargic.
I agree with you, dude. I agree completely. I mean, it's such a hard team to understand because they win so many games, but this offense should be so much better than it is. I don't know. I'm torn. I'm kind of like you, where I'm like, is it Patullo? Is it Jalen? I listen to Underdog, and I'm like, fuck, he kind of right. It might be Jalen. But then I look at also what he did with Steichen. The problem with what he did with Steichen was when you run RPOs, it takes away a lot of the reading of the defenses because you know what I mean. It almost you make that decision, the split decision at the line of scrimmage, and then it kind of dictates for you what to do. So, I don't know. You think
Bro,
they're
remember when Jalen was throwing to Quez Watkins, a rookie DeVonta Smith, and fucking like Greg Ward, and we had like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside? It's almost like they haven't improved them since then. The O-line cannot block for 7 seconds every game, but where's A.J. Brown's slants at? Where are these simple concepts of scheming people open to say, hey, let's get the ball in their hand, get them moving. Let's stop running zone reads to the teeth of the defense with Saquon Barkley. Another point is we have these lapses to where we're constantly starting at 2nd and 13, 2nd and 15. Something is going on. And it's like you said, it's mind-boggling, bro. It's mind-boggling. So, like I said, I'm starting to lean a little bit more towards Jalen, but I'm still on the bandwagon of like Patullo doesn't like. I'm watching the game. I played football, high school and college. It doesn't seem like he's trying to scheme these guys open. It's like, okay, we got these routes and we're gonna run it and stick with that. If it doesn't work, we'll play defense. And I don't think you can do like that. If we play like this against Detroit, they're going to have a field day, and Gibbs is going to run all over us if we don't get this together. Because, like you said, if we can't put up points and we're leading the league in not continuing third downs, our defense is going to get exhausted, and they're going to kill us.
Yeah, I agree. Well, leader of 3 and outs with this team is just insane. I mean, the fact that that's a stat that we're even like bottom 10 in is insane to me.
Xander, we won the game, but I'm pissed off. How does that sound?
Yeah, well, that's what everyone was mad at me for in the chat. I call them a bunch of nerds.
I love your energy, bro. You do a great job of like not letting people influence you how you think. But someone like me who's watching you, it's like I'm trying to figure out, how do people not understand what you're saying? You love Philadelphia. You love the team. And that's where the difference is. People got to understand. Sills is a personality who's there to cover the team. And I like Sills at times because he makes you think about stuff that's not just the good stuff. He makes you think about stuff you should worry about that you might not see because you're just a fan. He gets on my nerves sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, shit, he gets on my nerves. I tell him to his face. He got mad at me on the postgame show tonight.
Oh yeah, I saw it, and I think the reason people have because he laughs at us when we lose, and he makes almost like a mockery of it. But again, I'm on your boat 100%, bro. Like we have to be better, and I like John too. But you're not gonna tell me with the players that we have, we should be satisfied with the win, and that's it. There's something else that needs to be done, as well as there's something else going on behind the scenes. And like Underdog said, and the guy after him, like if this continues to happen, then yeah, we're gonna have to take a look at some other things because this doesn't compute. Fuck the victories, fuck the wins. It doesn't compute, and we need to figure this out because we are a Super Bowl contender. We are. You look at that defense, Big Fangio. I mean, he's a magician. He has the least paid defense, and he's making butterflies out of caterpillars.
Yeah,
Like
he's making 5-star restaurant meals from Burger King kitchen is what he's doing.
it is crazy, man. I don't understand it, but I hope we get it together. I love the show. I love the content. You're like my favorite personality on there. I love the show. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with striving for greatness. And good win. And I say good win because of how the defense played. But we gotta get this shit together, man. Anybody that's happy with what we're seeing on offense, you got to reevaluate your life and you got to reevaluate how you look at the game of football.
I agree.
That's not realistic, bro.
I agree. All right, brother Houston, I appreciate you, man. I assume
Hey,
you're
brother.
the Houston in the chat, right?
Absolutely, brother. And I gotta redo my YouTube thing because I'm gonna go on the site and actually upgrade my membership.
Okay, cool. I'll get that
All right,
email.
brother.
All right, bro.
You
I
too.
appreciate you, man. Later.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff, man. There's my boy Houston. It's a good time. First time I've had him on here, but he's been in the chat for a long time, so I'd recognize him from there. Let's go to my boy HKP. What's going on, my man? How you doing? Oh, I don't got your mic. You're muted. I see it. It says muted.
Yo.
Now I got you, my man. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man?
How you doing, brother? I like that.
I'm
pink
doing
hat.
good, brother.
Did I say
Yeah,
Trader
just
Joe's? That's Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I just got you know me, big
man.
working guy, bro. I'm always
I love
working,
it.
bro.
All right, bro. What'd you think? What's on your mind?
It's a lot. First things first, I want to say, in terms of Jalen, I feel like it's definitely something going on behind the scenes in terms of between him and AJ that a lot of us don't know about. I don't know if it's personal. I don't know if it's on the field, but I feel like in terms of Jalen and AJ, like from where they were, like they've been close friends. They've known each other for a long time. You know what I mean? So to see where they're at right now in the field, like they don't even communicate, dude. Like, and like to me, when I see stuff like that, like, it makes me feel like I don't really like to see that in terms of a team that's trying to have good vibes and go to a Super Bowl. I know last year we end up winning and stuff like that. Saquon had a great year, but it's just not something that I necessarily want to see. Like, I don't know if it's maybe because the play calling changed because Saquon got there and Jalen just fell in line. I don't know if it's because AJ no longer believes in Jalen. I don't know what it may be, but in terms of my take on tonight, Z, like, tonight was more of the same. Like it's kind of like J-Mac said from last year. Like, we looked like this against Carolina. Like, I don't think that any of us should be necessarily surprised by it. But, in terms of Jalen and the way that he plays, it's just going to always be inconsistent. But like I said, he finds a way to play well in moments, and that's why we love him. You know what I mean? It's not because he's always throwing for 250 a game. You know what I mean? The offense looks fluent and stuff like that. And,
The
I
lows
trust
are
this
way
team.
too low, though, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting 3 and outs like it's our job.
Yeah.
We're the top team in the league with 3 and outs. That's crazy, dude.
And $200 million offense, dude. Like, that's the type of stuff that kind of drives us crazy. Because I know you kind of think like me. Like, I want to see a high power offense. I want to see the slant to AJ for AJ to break a tackle and to, like different things like that. Because I know he has that in him, and to not see that on a consistent basis, dude, is just that's not what we want to see. You know what I mean? So it's tough to watch us play football and to see tonight, even after that first possession, I feel like we all kind of thought like, man, like even though like they were struggling, we were like, man, like we're gonna be okay tonight.
Yeah, we moved the
You know what
ball
I mean?
real
Like,
well in that first drive.
yeah, like I was like, dude, we're gonna be all right, man. But it was it was a tough
What do you think of
watch.
the defense? What do you think of the what the defense is able to do?
The defense is the reason why I believe in this team. You know what I mean? Because I just know, like, that's the reason why I don't look at this team. Like, I watch First Things First. I don't know if you know what that is, but
Yeah.
when we messed up back in, was it 23 year with Brian Johnson, they call it the supernatural funk. That's basically what they called it. When we went through what we went through, and I looked at it in terms of the defense. The defense was horrible. You know what I mean? And I think that's the difference between then and now, is that we have such a no-holds defense, and bringing in Jalen Phillips, you just see the difference in that team tonight from the beginning. When, I don't know if a lot of people noticed, but Jalen Phillips was honestly the reason why Jalen Hunt was able to get that sack.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because
he collapsed that pocket, dude. He collapsed
it. You know what I mean? So it was really good to see that just from the moment you've seen his impact of, you know what I'm saying? Just a great move from Howie. You know what I'm saying? Howie puts that ski mask on when he needs to and does what he needs to do, man.
Yeah.
I love to see Howie do what he needs to do and how he's at work. So, but yeah, the defense looks great, man. I still, you know what I'm saying? It's time and time again, you know what I'm saying? We may give up a throw or two in the secondary, you know, a couple guys will give up a throw or two, but besides that, you know, I love the pressure we got tonight, really getting home. I think Jalen Carter is going to really appreciate having a guy like Phillips out there. You know what I mean? And having Nolan back now too, man. The defense is going to really look good. I think it's all just going to come down to Jalen Hurts. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. I hate when people say the passing game, because it's like, dude, isn't Jalen Hurts the quarterback? Like, he's the passing game. Okay, like what are we talking about? Tanner McKee is not a part of the passing game. He's on the bench. Unless Jalen Hurts gets injured, Tanner McKee's not coming in the game. So everybody can stop dreaming. Okay, Tanner McKee he's not going to see the field. This is on Jalen Hurts until further notice. We paid him. He's the guy that's making all the money.
That's because everybody. That's because you gotta walk on eggshells when we talk about Jalen Hurts. Look at the chat.
I don't walk on eggshells because I know, but
if you see one person say some shit, if I say one thing about Jalen Hurts, I'm a Jalen this, I'm this, you got people walk on eggshells, bro. That's what they do.
Forget that, dude. We gotta keep it real, and that's another reason why, you know what I'm saying, I love you and Jacob, because it's just a keep it real network. You know what I mean? Of just It's not an echo chamber of just, oh, it's one thing. We want to be so like, nah, dude. We're not gonna sugarcoat shit. It's just, it is what it is. And if a guy's not playing well, he's not playing well, dude. And Jalen hasn't really played that well. And to me, he hasn't been an MVP candidate all year, because an MVP candidate has to be consistent, kind of like what we see from Matthew Stafford, consistently week from week playing well. You know what I mean? And that's what we want to see from Jalen. And I think you believe he's capable of that the same way I believe he is. You know what I mean? I've seen Jalen throw the ball consistently on the level before. You know what I mean? So it's like, I hate when people say he can't, because I've seen it before. So I can't go back and be like, damn, I didn't see that. I've seen him do it before. You know what I mean? So I just want to see him do it again, and for them to be able to find rhythm with it. But at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to him. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what play Kevin Patullo calls. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to expect Jalen to find a way to get the job done, dude. Like, that's what it comes down to. He's got a lot of
talent around him, man. I don't think some of that expectation is unfair. I think it's fair.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. You're the big money guy. You act for this. You want to be the Jordan athlete and do all this stuff. Dude, you're the guy, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You got to go out there and really be able to get the job done, dude, and we expect you to. And if you're not, we're going to call you out, even if we win 10-7. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm so happy they didn't interview him tonight on live TV, because I didn't want to hear that foolishness. But
yeah, well, with great power comes what? Great responsibility.
Great responsibility, bro.
Yes, sir. Yo, look at you, bro, with that big ass clock on your fucking wall. You a big shot, bro, with the big ass clock up there and shit. I'm looking at that clock like, holy shit, man.
I'm trying to get like you, man.
Yeah, there you go, my man. I appreciate you. HKP, good stuff, man. You know I love talking with you, brother. I'll reach out to you, all right, brother?
Love you, Z.
Love you, man. Later, brother. This is my boy HKP, man. I love that guy. Fucking love HKP. HKP, I listen to all your Instagrams. He does his thing on his Instagram account where he does like every day 78, day 80, I think he's up to. And he gets some work in, does some push-ups and shit, and he'll spit some fire. It's great. All right, let's go to these. I've been saving these last two. Listen to this text I just got. I apologize if you felt I undermined your feelings. I don't give a fuck about my feelings. Feelings are the most overrated bullshit in the world. But I have set aside time out of my day to come on and contribute. Anton, can anybody tell who sent me that message? Anton, shut up. This is fucking my show, not your show. Let's go to M. Reyes first. Anton, I'll get you up, but you're going last. Reyes, why do you have a green tie on at 1 a.m. in Texas?
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you all right.
Surely the folks of JAKIB Nation would not think a man in a suit would be delusional. I mean, I'm a serious man every hour of the day.
You're not. You're a delusional man.
No. You can.
You're a fanboy.
It's
okay. You're allowed to be a fanboy. Nobody's saying you can't be a fanboy.
I'm a fan. I'm not a boy. I'm a fan man.
You're a fanboy. That's what you are.
No, delusional
Did
people.
you see any problem in the way the Eagles played the game tonight?
No, we did all right. We got the win. We pulled through, all right. And the fact of the matter is, Jalen Hurts. Let me see. 306 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Oh, no, sorry. That's Josh Allen's loser stats.
People always do this. I don't give a shit about Josh Allen. I don't cover Josh Allen. I'm not a fan of the Bills. I don't give a rat's ass about Josh Allen stats.
Okay, 15 for 34, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Oh, no, shit. That's Mahomes. 57.2 ass rating. Sorry, no. Hurts outplayed Mahomes and Josh Allen today. And, y'all still want to.
Okay, who's got better talent around him?
Huh?
Who's got better talent around him?
Probably Jalen, but I mean, is that?
Probably is it? You think Rasheed Rice is as good as AJ Brown?
We're gonna have a GM fight now. It's our fault. It's Howie's fault now that he built
not
such
Howie's
a great
fault.
team. He built such a great team that would beat the Packers today. Yeah. Oh, fuck you, Howie, for building such a great team. I hate you.
No, I didn't say fuck you, Howie. It's content added to football discussion. This is why people don't take you seriously, because you can't add context. You're talking about football, right? This isn't boxing. It's not one guy in the ring. There's a team on the field. You're going to bring up stats of another quarterback to prove your point, which is okay. You got to be honest with the situation. You got to adjust to feedback if somebody doesn't agree with you. I think that's bullshit context. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have guys around him like that. Patrick Mahomes has a way bigger sample size of greatness. Josh Allen doesn't have guys around him like this. Josh Allen doesn't have the most 3-and-outs in the league. Neither does Patrick Mahomes.
Let's put tonight into context. We beat them in total yards. We beat them in yards per play. We beat them in passing yards. We beat them in rushing yards. No sacks allowed versus 3 sacks allowed. And we beat them in time of possession.
Because both teams are trash. That's
not because both teams are trash. No.
Tonight, both offenses tonight
came out with the win, which is exactly what I expected. Okay. And Jalen Hurts, as much as you want to shit on him, okay, as soon as you started talking shit, he threw that touchdown pass. Okay, and it was so great. It was so sweet.
You need a better gauge on what talking shit is. That was not talking shit.
It's gonna be in the live chat. Why do you even want to dispute this?
Because I know exactly what I said. I said this is the type of game where Hurts M. Reyes will come out and say Jalen Hurts is an MVP. It was not an MVP performance.
It was an MVP throw that won the game.
It was not an MVP throw. He threw
was right in the hands.
Ball to DeVonta.
Right in the hands for a touchdown. Thank you, Jalen, for this awesome throw. Yeah.
All right, what else?
Anyway, I had a good time. I don't know about you all. Okay, you all are
throwing a shirt and tie to do this segment.
But yeah, I mean, I've worn like 5 jerseys on top of another. I've done a lot of things for this show. Okay,
that's true. I appreciate you. Even though I do appreciate you.
I just wanted to look good tonight for the win because we do it. I expected the win. I called the win. I mean, whatever. The Trump
2-3. We won 10-7. Relax. Pump the brakes, guy. All right, you're done. Later, Reyes. Let's go to Anton. These two, I saved these two for the last. Anton, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
What do you make of the game?
Yeah, look, I get your frustrations. I do. I really do. Like, honestly, I was pretty frustrated. It was an awful watch in terms of just as an entertainment factor. But sometimes when the game is ugly, I think you got to give credit to the fact that when when it like you kind of like who here is going to make the difference in the game right now? Who's going to step up, going to make the play? Because I think it's easy to lose patience when you're in games like this. And I thought it was credit to the Eagles that we were able to strike first. That we, in a game like they didn't score until we scored. Like we were the ones who kind of were able to come up, muster something out of this. Because let's be honest, this was two great defenses going at it. This was a defensive display, and the defense today was unbelievable. We'll shut them out through 3 quarters.
But there was a lot of bad offensive play in that game.
Of course there was. Of course, I think there was bad offensive play. I think, and I think that you're validated in feeling frustrated with the offensive play, because as was I. But I think where me and you would differ is that I'm not going to take this one game and say, hey, now we have no way of making it to the Super Bowl, because I've seen us have games like this last year and we still did.
Super Bowl team.
Well,
we're 9 games in. We're not 1 game in. So don't gaslight me with that. We're not one game.
I'm not gaslighting you.
This is 9 games. How many games has the offense performed at a level that you think this team would go to the Super Bowl and win? I think it's 1.5 games. That's what I think. One and a half.
Giants game for sure. Minnesota for most of that, I think, for sure. Cowboys game week 1 wasn't bad, to be honest. I was more frustrated with the defense.
Jalen was good in that. He wasn't great throwing the ball that game, but he was great with his wheels in that game.
Look, it's definitely a place to improve. And I'm not saying for sure, but I still think that we're capable of winning. Because again, I'll go back to it. We'll see next week, because it's either it's going to be probably in the pudding next week. We beat Detroit or not. Because if we beat Detroit, I'll feel very validated in what I've been thinking the whole year, which is I still think that we're the best team in the NFC and that the competition isn't that difficult to make it to the Super Bowl. I just don't think it's that difficult in the NFC to do so.
That was one of my takes a couple weeks ago.
And the team. Well,
have you watched the Rams recently?
Yeah, but we beat the Rams this year. I'm not afraid of the Rams. When you watch them play against a different opponent and then watch them play against us, it's a different ball game. I think you playing, different mismatches. Mentally, I don't think the Rams believe that. I said this on Right on the Benches podcast. Mentally, the Rams have had about 4 shots in a row at us, and no matter what they do, they still can't get over the line. There's an inferiority complex with them when it comes to the Eagles. Sean McVay has never beaten Nick Sirianni in a football game. Whether you like it or not, it's true. It's easy to go back and be jealous.
Professional athletes don't think like that, dude. They don't.
I've seen it in so many other sports where all of a sudden you just have they call the thing called the bogey team, right? And it's like you no matter how many times you try, no matter if they're at their best or at their worst, whatever, you guys might be great, they might be shit, and still somehow you find out you still can't beat them. I'm not worried about the Rams. If I'm ever bringing up that name specifically, I'm not worried about them. But look, I think as much as you're going to hate me saying this, I still think this was like championship grit. Like even when it wasn't going well, you still managed to come out with the win. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly. It was awful. I was frustrated. Felt uncomfortable all the way into the end. I felt uncomfortable with how Nick Sirianni called that last play, how he went for on 4th down. I was angry. I was livid, and we still got out of there alive. We have a lot to work on. There's a lot of self-reflection that needs to be going on. But I don't think that this team overall, big picture, I can't cancel out the world champions from being in the conversation, for being the world champions again.
Last year, man. Different team.
No, but I still think you still carry on. You still carry on that confidence from having been there and done that. Because we said that for everybody else. We said that for New England. We said that for Kansas City. When they got into the Super Bowl, like, hey, look, you know what? I back their experience and them having been there. And I think if we were to play a Buffalo Bills, what would you say? Buffalo Bills for Eagles. Would you go the team that's never been there or the team that's been there 2 out of 3 years?
That's 2 different things, Anton. Big game experience is different than saying we're the defending Super Bowl champs. That defense is gone. And the defense,
I think this defense right now is fantastic, though.
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips is better than any pass rusher we had last year, based on today and his career in Miami.
I actually agree with that. Jalen
Phillips. So I think by the way, are we yet to see JAKIB Alexander? He didn't play today.
He's not.
I think he'll be good. I think
he's not going to do a lot. All
contributing to winning. He doesn't need to do a lot. We kept the shutout without him today, right? So him being in the lineup can only be a bonus. Like having a guy who's been a top top 10, top 5 cornerback for most of his career in the building is never gonna hurt. So I think that there's only and BG didn't really contribute to that either. So I think again, you don't want to peak too early. I think we're going to peak when we need to peak. At the moment, we're still kind of ticking along. Let's see. I think next week is big because if Detroit come and do the San Francisco thing like 2 years ago, then I'm obviously going to be very, very concerned. So I feel like just let's wait. So on this a week, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch. But I think we're going to be okay. I'll still think this is a great football team. And I think this is a great defense. For me, I'd rather sit here. Like I want to come on here and just talk about how amazing that defense was today. Because it was outstanding. And no matter how bad, I had this thought in my head. Like eventually, with how bad this offense is, the defense can hold up for the whole game. And they did, with the exception of the one touchdown drive. And I think that they were kind of given a gift there with that pass interference on Jahad Campbell, because I thought that was a bit like it was a bit of a weak call, I think, because I didn't think there was a huge amount of contact in there. I didn't, so I kind of felt like they were given a gift in that standpoint. Outside of that, I still think we were keeping them to 0. So yeah, I think there's a lot of like the pass rush was amazing. Jalen Hunt, like I cussed him out when he was first drafted. I was like, why do we draft this guy? Who is this guy? And he's been phenomenal and he's getting better. And it was good to have Nolan back today. And Jalen Phillips, again, I think better than an upgrade on Josh Sweat. I can't believe we actually finally did it. We actually got a pass rusher that was an upgrade. And I feel good about this defense now. I feel like it's back personnel-wise. I mean, what like for like? Who do you rather have at this point, Jair Alexander or Darius Slay? They're about the same. So,
oh my fucking God.
They are about the same. And Jair Alexander is younger. You're on mute.
They're not.
What?
Jair Alexander is not the same as Darius Slay was last year. It's not. That's an egregious comment.
You don't know yet. That's yet to be seen.
He couldn't get on the field for the fucking 32nd ranked pass defense in pro football. He was healthy. He was a healthy scratch for 5 weeks in Baltimore. Stop.
Other stuff that you might know. I almost was a healthy scratch for this stream, so you never know. Like,
all right, I gotta run, bro. It's 2:40. I gotta get out of here.
All right, yeah, I got you.
All right, later, dude. I appreciate you.
All right, see ya.
Later, dude. All right, good stuff there. Appreciate everybody doing it tonight. All right, a lot of good content tonight. A lot of good stuff tonight from everybody. Let me make sure I got all my super chats. Sean, what's up, man? Thank you. That was for Bumper the Dumper on Hurts. I assume you're talking about Brian Pumper. All right. Let me make sure I get all my comments. Jody, thanks for the $2, brother. I appreciate that. Here's Corporate Pump. Jalen Hurts slapped us fans all in the face tonight. His performance was deplorable and unacceptable. I denounce this type of mediocrity. I denounce mediocrity in all forms, Pumper. I agree. D-Dunk the Funk. Hurts can be elite. They have been coaching him to play scared. Yeah, I read that one. That was a good one. I actually agree with that. The offense was legit shit. All right, I got all these. Good stuff, everybody. All right, everybody. Good stuff, man. I appreciate everybody for being here. I got to run, man. I got to get up in the morning. I'm feeling a little extra fucking tired, man. Normally, I got it in me to go till 3:30, but I don't think I got it in me tonight. So I'm going to get the hell out of here. I do appreciate it. You know, I will say, remind everybody that I don't believe that you should accept everything as it is because you won a football game. It's not how I believe. It's not what I think. It's not how I view the game. If you don't like that, you don't have to watch this channel. I don't care. I really don't care what you watch. Honestly, I do appreciate the people who are here and who stick around. But that's my take on it. So if you want to cry about it, I really don't care. You know, but look, good win tonight. Jalen Phillips is clearly the winner of the night, in my opinion. Defense was great, but here's the hard part about the defense I think people are missing. No Tucker Kraft, no Jaden Reed. Lost an offensive lineman in the middle of the game. Lost, the fuck's the guy's name? Romeo Dobbs in the middle of the game. Like, they were missing a lot of dudes. Like, if we got stopped by a defense and we didn't have AJ, we didn't have Landon, or not Landon, let's say Steen, because I don't think that offensive lineman was that good. Let's say we didn't have Goddard. you'd probably be like, you'd use that as an excuse for why the offense wasn't so good. All right. So I think that's context that's got to be added in there as well. I'm not saying they didn't have a good night. I think they had a good night. I'm just saying, you know, I wouldn't sit there and act like, all right, the defense is back. The defense looks good. Defense looks real good. I agree with that. All right. Roll Philly says, get all that crying. I'm not crying, dude. Only dumbasses like you think it's crying. Only dumbasses like that think it's crying. That's not crying. All right. I agree, underdog. They do fear no one. I'm just saying in terms of the context for the game tonight. By the way, I know a lot of you guys like to chirp at underdog because he says a lot of shit that you don't like to hear. I didn't see one of you in the chat, and I was reading them. I didn't see one of you dispute a single thing successfully that he said. Now, that doesn't mean that he's right about everything, but I didn't see one of you dispute a single thing he said. Not one of you. And Crawley, good point. No one fears his offense. Cancels out. Crawley, that's unfortunate. I'm going to bed. I got work to do. You know, that's the thing. When I end the show, it doesn't just mean I wrap it up and I go to bed. You know, I got a lot of shit to do. I got 30, 40 minutes of work to do when I get off here. So that's factored into my night. 45, it's not too bad. Up 6:30. What is that? 3 hours? Not bad. Not bad. All right. Love all you guys, man. I appreciate all you guys. Hit that like button. All right. Hit that like button. All right. I will implore all of you to forget the Eagles for a second, to pursue greatness in what you do and how you operate and how you be a man or a woman or a father or a son or a brother or a husband or a business owner or an employee. I don't give a shit what it is. How you do anything is how you do everything. Don't settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for less than your best. Don't settle in life in anything. It's a bad way to live. Okay? It's a bad way to live. Doesn't mean we're going to agree on everything. But don't get into that mindset. That's a bad mindset. Look at me. I'm destroying toothpicks. That's how you know I was agitated tonight. I'm pouring toothpicks in my hands, destroying them. Bro, Philly, don't tell me what to fucking do, bitch. Go back to Twitter with your little pen pals on Twitter. All right? There's a lot of glazing over there. That's more your speed. Go ahead over there to Twitter. All right? That's more for you. That's more your cup of tea, you know? Later, everybody. Love all you guys. Great job by everybody who joined that. A lot of good commentary, I thought, by everybody. All right? Morty, good stuff. I'm happy you brought this up. Shout out to all the military, the Marines, especially the Marines, man. Happy birthday to the Marines. 250 years. My buddy Jarhead, I don't think he's in here anymore, but I did want to say that. I should have said that earlier, probably. Happy birthday to the Marines. Happy Veterans Day. I think Veterans Day is today because it's Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Let me make sure. Tuesday, November 11th. That's today. Happy Veterans Day to everybody, man. Shout out to all the great people, all right, that fight for this nation, that fight for our freedom in this world. We appreciate all you, man. We appreciate that very much, especially the Marines yesterday on their 250th birthday. Pretty dope. All right, pretty dope. So very awesome. Appreciate everybody for being here as always. Love you guys. See you next time.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.